In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Everybody, welcome. Good evening. It's the Steel Toe Evening Show. No, I'm not wearing the hat because I'm balding. I'm wearing the hat because my hair is too long and I need a haircut and I don't feel like doing it because if I do it, it's going to be all the regulars with the spider jokes. I don't want spider jokes tonight. It's Wednesday. It's the last two-a-day day of the week. My weekend basically starts tonight. Because we got a 4-hour show on Thursday, 4-hour show on Friday. That's it. But I'm tired, I'm crabby, and I didn't want to do my hair. I'm like a bitch, really. I'm like a girl. It's my period. That's all. This should have been a vodka cranberry juice. My girlfriend drinks that shit when she's on a period. But no, I didn't want to do a show tonight. And then kind of sat there and I went, really, you fucking pig, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? I mean, if you live in metro to central Minnesota right now, the sky is about to open the fuck up right about now. It's about to get nasty. Downright medieval. They're talking about tornadoes for part of the state. I am in the wrong fucking place for a tornado, friends. I am by a couple of windows. I'm supposed to go, I think, in that crawl space over there, or that utility room right there, or the laundry room right there. I got a bunch of places I can go in case we get a little tornado. Power goes out. If the show just cuts out, probably a power outage. Probably that. Welcome to the show. Lots of things to talk about. We're finally going to go over the Kevin Spacey stuff tonight. It's very strange that I feel awkwardly bad for Kevin Spacey because I know I'm not supposed to. Because he's there's a good, how do you say this now that he's been acquitted in one court? There's a good possibility in my mind that he may or may not have forced himself on a child. So you don't want to feel bad for that guy. But he also had like his whole career taken away. It's kind of that balance between what you think you know and what's been proven. Like it kind of tests your morality of, is innocent until proven guilty really the best way to go? Because sometimes you just know. There's the way our legal system is, and then there's what you have in your gut. And a lot of the times, what you have in your gut is better than the legal system. The only problem is a lot of people throughout history have used what they had in their gut to murder a shitload of people. So we have to go with the legal system way of innocent until proven guilty. But if we look at Kevin Spacey's track record of behavior, at the very least, he's probably a degenerate gay dude. At the very best, he's a degenerate gay dude. At the very worst, he fucked with kids, teenagers, whatever. So, that's in my gut. But if he went to court, he'd be acquitted. So I don't know. And then there's certain other people that have been arrested lately who both, in your gut they're guilty, and you've seen it that they're guilty. And also there's more than enough evidence to take care of them. So, it's not always one or the other. But we'll get to the Kevin Spacey stuff. Not only did he talk about how sad he is that he's lost all his money and he lost a mansion. Really hard to feel bad for a guy who's crying about losing a mansion. But also he told a story about Bill Clinton and Epstein Island. So maybe Kevin Spacey wants to die too. If you're an old school listener of this show, you'll know about the title of tonight's episode, which is the Kevin Spacey defense. Do you remember what the Kevin Spacey defense is? The Kevin Spacey defense is, I just want to see how many of the new ones we have. So, someone asking how is the goal calculated? We went over this morning. We went over by quite a bit. So we're quite a ways down. Plus Adam Simon with $5 and five gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bridget Von Hammerdiff. I was drunk and gay. That was his defense when he got accused of groping that 13-year-old. He went on TV and he went, look, I'm gay. And I was a bit shit-faced. And so that's why I groped the 13-year-old. And by the way, nobody clipped that. I'm trusting you to just let me say these things. Kevin Spacey said, look, I know you're thinking that I'm a monster who preys on teenagers. I know that's what you think about me, but I have to reassure you, I'm just a gay dude who is really fucked up. And while that sounds like a really stupid defense to the rest of us, if you look historically, and this is where I'm going to get in trouble. If you look historically, and Milo Yiannopoulos said the same thing, and I think he got canceled right after. In the gay community, the way they look at age of consent, in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, where they call the Pirates Code guidelines more than rules, it's like that. They see it as a guideline more than anything else. So maybe Kevin Spacey was trying to say, I know to you heteros, fondling a 13-year-old looks weird, but I assure you I'm a homo. So, and I was also drinking. So that drops actually the age of consent by about 4 or 5 years in that world. I don't know if that's the defense he was going with. Maybe Nick should try that one. I was drunk and gay. That's why there was so much cocaine in my house. That actually checks out. You're really gay, partying. You're really drunk, making bad decisions. Give it a shot. It's better than what you got now, which is the government's out to get me. He's basically Michael C. Parks in Red State at this point. Beef Broth Based with $10 says, if you're doing members only for the roast, can you make it actually members only, please? Then put that toward the goal. Fuck those freeloading bastards on YouTube. Thanks. I love you. Say it back. I love you too, Beef Broth Based, and thank you very much for the $10. Yeah, we're going to make the roast on August 10th members only. And then, you guys throw in anything. Of course, we'll put it towards that Monday for sure. Thank you, buddy. We're only 180 away from tonight, by the way. 180 away from overtime. We appreciate that. If you... Hawk Not Top Gun says, literally went to court, sat and listened to the whole thing, and won. Have you seen the doc? Some fucking special forces guy, twice Kevin's size, saying he felt uncomfortable. Muttering Jay says, Nick doesn't have to act like he is gay. We all know. Are you saying that? Well, you see, the thing is that actually, when you get arrested with cocaine in your house, it's actually a good thing. I hope the cops make $1 million. He wasn't holding a drink when he did that. I'm sorry. That's slanderous. And I apologize. So we'll go over the Kevin Spacey thing today. He wants to shit on the Clintons, but he also wants us to feel bad that he lost his house. We've got Ariana Grande breaking her silence on the Quiet on the Set documentary. Did she get molested? I always think of like entertainment and people getting molested as just dudes. I never think of chicks getting molested. But then you think of Amanda Bynes and you're like, she for sure did. I would hate to think that Ariana Grande was diddled. just because she came out of it like she seems so well adjusted and like she has her shit together. That's the same thing with Justin Timberlake. Like, I take how put together these people are as a sign of whether or not they got molested. Like, stand Justin Timberlake up next to Britney Spears. One of those two people got diddled, and we know who it was. Now, it's possible that both of them did, but how did one bounce back so nicely? Okay, Amanda Bynes, Ariana Grande, both Nickelodeon stars. One got diddled, one probably didn't. It's probably the one that doesn't have the septum piercing and walks naked through the streets of Los Angeles. But how do you know? We'll talk about that a little bit later on. We've also got a bunch of news stories. A Washington teen brandished a replica gun in a sporting goods store. Unfortunately, there was armed security there. They shot him. We've also got a California teacher arrested for DUI and child endangerment. They will face no charges. Might be something somebody else might want to look into. A Dallas megachurch pastor suddenly steps down after admitting to undisclosed sins for years. Ooh, that's always fucking some strange, right? Whenever one of those megachurch pastors goes, I have to go away for a while. I've been sinning. It hasn't been good. They've been fucking. And how do you not if you're a megachurch pastor? I mean, you get people coming to you literally with their souls open. You've got a shitload of money. I could forgive him. I feel like being a megachurch pastor is a lot like being a professional athlete. The mistake you make is not fucking strange. The mistake you make is getting married in the first place. And boy, can I relate. Super Happy Fun Time says she worked at Nickelodeon, didn't she? Yeah. Oh, you're saying, look, if they worked at Nickelodeon, they got diddled. No Pen 15 Fathead with $2 says, where's Jesse? I haven't talked to Jesse in quite some time. Not against it. I like Jesse. But we haven't discussed anything. We haven't talked about doing a show together or anything like that. And I also have not seen any coleslaw since that message came out. Nick the Milkman becoming a member for 25 months says Aaron's new sex call. Oh, God damn it. Fuck my ass. God. I would rather that isn't my new sex call. But thank you, Nick the Milkman, for that wonderful clip. It's good to know that you guys are clipping things that are so helpful to the program. I appreciate it. So tonight we're starting off at 180 is the number. Plenty of stuff to talk about. It is a solo show. Like, subscribe, share, talk about us. A lot of people talking about us lately. Holy shit. I mean, look, we only held on. I don't know, between Rumble and YouTube, we've been at about 1,100 people at our peak. And we were at like 1,500 people at our peak when like the whole arrest thing popped off and all that. So like we've lost quite a few. I mean, we hung on to a lot. We were doing like 700-800 at a time before all this. So like we have grown by a lot. But for those of you who seem really sour and sore because you hated my guts and you wanted to see the numbers go right back down to where they used to be, I mean, we lost probably most of them, didn't we? You should be happy about that. Why do you guys all come and like project your like rage and sadness at me? Like they come to me, they're like, this is all going to end. Well, yeah, probably. I can't count on people close to me getting arrested every month. That's not a sustainable business model. I mean, really. But they're like, this is all going to go away. I'm like, I know you want it to, but like, just fucking be patient. Like they yell at me like I did it. I'm like, look, I was just sitting here doing a show, yapping, running my mouth, talking about my life and the shit I did. People came over and they wanted to see it. Then the story got old. It's been, 3 weeks since they were arrested? And now you got 2 months until anything happens court-wise. Like, it's going to be a big lull period. We'll go back down. I don't know why you guys are so mad about it. We've been very honest about it from the start. It's all the people who come here and hate the show. They're like, that's all going to fall apart. Yeah, I know. But, like, we've kept a lot more people than I thought we would. I'll be honest. I guess I was more pessimistic than the haters were because I was like, it'll go back to about where it was. And it's not. It's hundreds of people up at a time, which is fucking cool. We're usually at about 150 on YouTube and about a 75, 100 on Rumble at this point in the show in the first 15 minutes or so. We usually peaked out at about 200 and then 100 on Rumble. And right now, about 250 and 75, so up over 300. So yeah, we're still up by a pretty large percentage, but even that'll wane a little bit. But guys, you can't, look, I know you're mad at me for whatever reason. I don't know why you're angry at me. I don't know why you're upset. It's not that I don't understand why you might not like me. I can be very unlikable and cunty when I'm on the air, especially if you don't like me. I don't really feel the need to be nice to people who just want to shit on you and hate you. I always kind of figured I could do my thing, you could do yours. I'd rather you hate me for being me than have you hate me for me trying to be something you want or don't want me to be. But guys, it's not a big deal. So what if we grow a little bit? I mean, we got about 3,000 new subscribers, probably about 4,000 if you count Rumble. Yeah, we got a little uptick from this. That doesn't fuck up your life, does it? If we gain a few hundred viewers at a time, if each one of our shows does 3,000 or 4,000 more views than it used to, that's not going to fuck up your day, is it? Come on, you're tougher than that. Steel toe grabbing a few thousand new followers, a few thousand new fans, a few hundred extra at a time, and making a couple extra bucks. I really don't see how that's bothering you. But look, I've underestimated the internet before. They can be fucking weirdos. I say let it go. Or keep watching the show, and you'll probably become a fan. Do you know how many of our biggest fans started off as people who go, oh, this guy's an asshole, this guy's a prick? And I am. I'm an asshole and a prick to people who don't like us. I don't feel the need to be nice to them. But if you're a big fan, I love entertaining you, take time for you, think you're great. So over time, you'll either get bored and you'll leave, or over time, you'll get tired of nobody listening to you, or you'll become a big fan, which I welcome either one. I'm happy with it. Ask around. Aaron's drug addiction with 199 says, Aaron, are you worried about a defamation lawsuit? No, I haven't defamed anybody. I've literally talked about my experiences, what I've done, what I've seen with my own eyes, and what I lived. I'm talking about my life. I'm writing an autobiography. Other people happen to be a part of that autobiography. But I have texts and pictures and videos and receipts for everything I have. The proper people have them. And if I need to release them in court, then that day will come. But no, see, the wonderful thing about telling the truth is if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. So, for example, when I read people's comments on this thing, there's some people who are in denial and they get it fucked up and they're like, I don't believe this Aaron. He's not telling the truth. And then there are people who get it and they're like, this Aaron has literally been right about everything. Everything that came out in the arrest thing, everything that came out in the search warrant was all stuff Aaron told us was going on. It all checks out. Anytime you do any kind of fact checking, it all checks out. So, I don't get upset when people go, he's a liar. I mean, I giggle at him, but I don't get upset because, I know what the truth is. I know what's going on. I'm sure there's a bunch more stories. I'm sure that everyone else involved in this whole thing probably saw and did shit that I didn't do. In fact, I know a few things, but I'm not going to say them because I didn't see them. I wasn't a part of it. I'll let them tell that story. Some of them would be remarkably embarrassing for them. Some of them probably would be remarkably embarrassing for me. But my whole rule from the beginning, tell my story, talk about what I saw. So no, I'm not worried about anything like that. It's, like I said, just writing my autobiography. That's all it is. Let's go to our buddy Adam with $5. He says, the internet is gay. They're not gay. I don't think they're gay. I think they waste a lot of their energy sometimes. But, I golf. People on the internet might think golf is a waste of my energy. It's just a hobby of theirs. They like doing it. That's why I always say I don't take, hate towards me or my show personally. Let them do it. That's their hobby. That's what they like doing. I don't want people judging my fucking hobbies, right? Atomic Ray says, YouTubers lost their jerk mate in Nick, and Aaron won't play with them and jerk his gherkin. They just want to jerk it with you, Aaron. Is that what it is? I mean, I don't want to. I don't really feel the need to. Elza Belza on Rumble says, you have some of the dumbest, unfunny haters on the planet. I'm amazed their careers let them have internet success. Are you talking about like Patrick Melton? Because he wasn't successful until he started basically showing my show. And like, does he have the dumbest fans? Yeah, they're so easily led. It's so sad to listen to Melton fans. These are people who would have joined Jim Jones. Not that Patrick Melton is anywhere near as talented as Jim Jones. He's not. But like, they would have fallen for Bitcoin scams and death cults. Because I gave Patrick Melton a very simple set of what do you call them? Stipulations for our bout. Stipulations that, by the way, have to be figured out in a boxing match. It's not my fault Patrick Melton is too stupid to know how to put together a boxing match. You need stipulations. You need to establish glove size, headgear, whether or not it's going to be sanctioned as an amateur or a professional bout. You know, whether, you know, the amount of rounds you do, the minutes in the round or whatever. And then fighting is a business. Like, I will sell tickets to this. Patrick won't. Because here's the problem Patrick has, and he knows it deep down, and his fans do too. Patrick doesn't have any fans. I have fans, and I have people who hate my guts. I have people who want to see me beat up Patrick, and I have people who want to see me get beat up and hurt. None of those people care if Patrick dies. They don't. They don't care if Patrick gets hurt. They don't care if he has a heart attack in the ring, which at his size he very well could. That's another thing we have to do. Sign waivers. He has to get a physical. They won't let him in the ring if he does that, because they don't want, you know, whatever venue hosts the event does not want a guy dying on their watch unless they're fully covered. And Patrick, people die in boxing all the time. And people your size could, I mean, this isn't even me doing a comedy show anymore. I know the sport, Patrick. You could die in there. You're remarkably obese. You're remarkably unhealthy. Now, would I feel bad if you and I got in the ring and I gave you a few body shots and you got gassed and your heart couldn't keep up and it ruptured and exploded? No, you agreed to get in the ring. That's one of the risks you take. If you get in a boxing ring, whether you're an amateur or a professional, you accept all the physical risks, one of them including you could die in there. It's very rare, but you could die in there. Look, if I fight a guy like Patrick and he collapses and dies in the ring, shouldn't have been in there. Shouldn't have been in there with me. You know, the Ivan Drago line, if he dies, he dies. So I gave Patrick stipulations that are going to have to be figured out if we do this. And the stipulations I laid out there all benefited Patrick. I wanted to give him all the benefits because he doesn't stand a chance against me. And that's not me bragging. It's just I'm experienced. He's not. And I'm going to have to make a show of it somehow. It will sell a lot of tickets. It is business. We have to do this as an event. You don't want to leave money on the table in something like this. Patrick's going to take a fucking beating. Might as well squeeze some money out of it for him. But I give him all the stipulations. They're all to his advantage, and then he runs away from it again. After he brought it up, again, I didn't bring up fighting. I didn't bring up boxing. Just like Mersh brought up, you're an 0-2 boxing gay F word. And then I said, like, do you want to box me? Is that what this is? And then he goes, oh, challenging people to boxing matches is gay. I'm like, then don't fucking bring it up, you drunken, weed-addicted retard. Jesus Christ. Did he do a dab and have a stroke and forget he said it? And besides, I said about fighting Mersh, I wouldn't do it. It's not fair. Like, he's, like Melton, he's in terrible shape. And usually I would say it's not fair for me to fight Melton, but he actually challenged. Mersh didn't actually challenge. Melton did. But then when you tell Melton, all right, cool, here's all the advantages, go ahead. All I ask is that if you knock me out, I get no money. And if I knock you out, I take all the gate revenue. It's called a bet. It's called a side bet. When you're confident in yourself and you know you can do something, you offer side bets. Now, Patrick could say that part doesn't work for me, and I'd still do it. But he rejects the whole thing out of hand because he's a cunt. He's scared. Linda Pepperton says, tell us about the DP and the buy stuff. Nick and I never did any buy stuff. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I shouldn't have. Oh, no, that's going to be on Red Bar now. He's going to say I took a liar's sip. That's not what that was. There was there was never any buy stuff. And there was never any DP either. I didn't want my balls and dick. I will defend Nick in this regard with our cuckoldry and foursome and fucking wife swapping shit. He and I are both pretty homophobic. Like, you know, it just wasn't something that we were into. Maybe some people are, not our thing. We were pretty homophobic dudes. So no DP, no gay guy shit. Sorry. If that bursts your bubble, then I apologize. Sorry. Again, apologies. My bad. Won't happen again, hopefully. All right, let's get into the Kevin Spacey stuff. Thank you for joining us on the program. Where are we starting tonight? 175 is the number. Let's knock that out for the final evening show goal of the week. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, gifted memberships, and much more. So the Kevin Spacey stuff. Kevin Spacey went on Piers Morgan's show, and like nobody still can tell me where the fuck Piers Morgan has a show. Like, I know he has a show, and I know it's a TV show. I don't know what it's on. He's not on CNN anymore. I think he got fired from like the BBC or whatever the British, was it Sky News or whatever? He got let go from there. Like, is he just recording shit and people are telling him it's on TV and they're just like throwing it up on YouTube? Because his show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored. But it doesn't say anything about what it's on. I'm looking through the article right now. Is it just like just a YouTube show that Piers is on? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Kevin Spacey is on there, and he gave his big tell-all interview about what's been going on with, you know, the accusations of him touching boys and, you know, him getting fired from House of Cards and what it cost him in his career. Now, in the UK, he got found not guilty. So technically, we can't call him, Das Optic Nerve says, his show is on WFAG. Let's go ahead and watch. This is Kevin Spacey saying that he lost his mansion. He lost millions of dollars. He lost his way of life because of all these accusations. And I want to see if you can work up the energy to feel bad for Kevin Spacey.
Well, it's funny you asked that question because this week, where I have been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction.
Really?
Oh, now where are you going to grope a 13-year-old's buttocks? That's always the worst part of being a pedo, is when you become a homeless pedo. You got no bed to grab their balls in, you fucking weirdo. Allegedly. He's been accused of that. I don't think he was on trial for the 13-year-old, though, was he? Because isn't that guy dead? Then cross him off then. But, like, the one thing I feel for Kevin Spacey with here is people are going to accuse him of fake crying. There's nothing worse than when like, you're overcome with emotion and you need to cry and no tears come out. You just get that overwhelmed, tight feeling in your chest and that vibration in your throat. And you're just like, I just don't understand. Like, it's just you're overwhelmed with emotion, but tears can't come out. I feel bad for people like that because then people go, oh, they're fake crying. It's like, no, they're real crying. Like, I've cried on the air and fucking tears have come out. Like, you know. But there's other times where you get really choked up and just nothing comes out and people go, oh, they're faking. It's like, nah, they're just a mess. That's all. Like, their emotions are so fucked up, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to release. Are you supposed to punch a hole in the wall or cry? Your body doesn't really know.
So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage.
Really?
So the answer to that question is, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started shooting House of Cards there.
So how long is that?
I moved there in
10
2012.
years? Yeah, 12 years he's lived
So
there.
this has been your home for 12 years.
I was going to say, if you're a really rich guy, why the fuck do you live in Baltimore? Just for work. That makes sense. I lost my house in Baltimore. I have to put my shit in storage. Well, then live in the storage place. Remember when, like, in Breaking Bad, when Bill Burr and the fat black guy with no neck, remember when they laid down on that bed of money? Just, yeah, put like a cot in there and sleep in the storage space till you figure things out. You'll get back on your feet. You know what's fucked up about the Kevin Spacey thing is that he was legit one of my favorite actors. And then you got to feel fucking gross about that now.
Well, not this particular place, but this place has been my home and Evan and Lucy's home since 2016.
Why?
Are those two of his concubines? Or are those his children? I don't know.
Is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Oh, Kevin. Just make another
Are
movie.
are you facing bankruptcy?
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it. At least.
Doesn't there come a time where you like don't want to dodge bankruptcy? Like, because you can just settle your shit. I know your credit sucks for like 7 or 8 or 9 years or whatever, but like, if you file for bankruptcy, you do get out of your bills. I mean, it is a big black mark on your credit history, but if you can keep a lot of your cash, like if you can keep some money, you know, a guy like Kevin Spacey, you'd be able to find something to rent or buy. Cash? No? I always thought you got to a point where you're like, why fight bankruptcy? Just fucking do it.
At least as of today.
I guess I wouldn't know.
How much money do you have?
Piers, that's fucking rude, dude. Does a guy like Kevin Spacey even know how much money he has? Because he probably owns multiple houses, real estate, stocks, probably some Bitcoin and some crypto in there. You don't know what you have liquid. I'm a little cash poor right now. I just bought some real estate on the moon next to John Travolta.
None.
Oh, shit. Kevin Spacey's got no... Kevin ain't got no money.
Really?
Well, I mean, you know, you have some sense of legal bills.
Yeah.
I still owe a lot of legal bills that I have not been able to pay.
You're actually in debt.
That's true. Like if you have to fight for your freedom, especially like sometimes the more guilty you are. Like, OJ had to spend a fuck ton of money on legal bills because he was probably really guilty and they needed to work a defense that would get him off on a technicality, and they did. All right, OJ, don't take your blood pressure medication when we try on this glove tomorrow. Cool. And like, didn't he put a plastic glove on to put the leather glove on? That was brilliant too.
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much you owe?
A shitload, Piers.
It's considerable.
Millions?
Many millions, yes.
Oh, fuck. God, it's probably like every drunk Hollywood party he went to where he fucking goosed a 15-year-old doesn't really seem worth it now, does it? Millions of dollars in legal bills. All because you had to slip a dig in a butthole, you fucking weirdo.
The house itself is many millions.
What are you going to do?
Sell his house. Have you not been listening, Piers? You're supposed to be an interviewer. He's selling all his shit and declaring bankruptcy. That's, oh, yeah, I have to sell my house, put all my shit in storage, probably sell another house, you know, raise a few million. Oh, you declaring bankruptcy? Yeah. What are you going to do? Well, I hope the house takes care of it.
Get back on the horse.
As long as that horse is not a young boy, and then you'll be fine. He can get movie deals, right? Like there'll be like a small budget movie that like really needs some star power and needs some oomph, and they'll hire a wounded bird like him, won't they? He's not going to be out of work. He'll be fine. Atomic Ray says the fucking auction starts at $5 million. He has equity in it. Yeah, he'll pay off his legal bills with the house. He'll be good. 09 Canyon says, boo-hoo, I'd love the chance to lose a mansion and millions of dollars. I mean, I'd rather keep it, but I understand what you're saying. Cheeseburger Pie with $1 says, tornado sirens, Aaron. Ruh-roh. Are we maybe getting out of here early tonight? Am I going to get fucking... Are we going to have to play a Shania Twain song? And oh, there they are. Holy shit, the fucking sirens are going off. No shit. Wow. Wow. That means like ski fucking daddle, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, they're going off loud. Herb C says, win by 2 will box you. Man up. Will he really? All these people keep challenging me to box, and I will totally fucking do it and give them every advantage in the world. But when I start bringing up shit you need to bring up for a boxing match, everybody runs for the hills. You know, I start talking to them. I go, okay, we got to get you got to get licensed. You got to book an event center. Like, you got to book an area. You have to get licensed if you want to box, either by USA Boxing or if you're doing it professionally, like obviously you just file for a license from the commission. It's fucking easy. You got to get a physical. Okay, then. Now I have all of these things done, but like, what size gloves are we wearing? Do you want to wear headgear? Do you want to, set any rules? What kind of rounds? What kind of minute rounds do you want? Like, you got to talk to people about this shit and set it up. So if John's willing to actually have these conversations, that would be fucking great. I'd love to. Like, dude, I get in the ring. I box twice a week. I fucking love the sport. It's great. It's like telling a guy who loves golf, like, oh, this guy really wants to golf 18 holes with you. Fucking name a date and time. Let's do the damn thing, and I'll teach you how to put the event on. I'll teach you how to put a boxing match together. Everyone thinks you can just go and do one. You can't. It's not allowed. You got to have, there's certain shit, there's hoops you have to jump through. It's fucking America. You have to sign all kinds of paperwork and dumb shit. But, yeah, I mean, John would be the first guy who's actually had the fucking balls to contact me and talk about this. I would be so happy if John from Win by 2 Radio decided that he wanted to box. That would be great. Thank you, by the way, Herb C, for the $2. I appreciate that. We are 170 away from tonight's goal. If you'd like to contribute, Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, memberships, etc. About 400 of you checking out the show right now. We appreciate that. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow the program. Very nice. We've got a little more Kevin Spacey coming, and if you guys, send in your Super Chats and your Rumble Rants and your PayPals and all that shit, we'll read them. Jeff Jordan says, it's a good thing you're already in your mom's basement, New Boot Goofin. Yes. This is my mommy made me my own corner in the basement so I could do my show. Hold on a second. Boy, it is fucking out there. Woo. I mean, I'm not going to shut the show off like a bitch, but I should probably open the windows. Or not open the no, tornado sirens just went off. You know what I should do? Get a little fresh air in here. Open the blinds so I can see what's going on. I can hear heavy rain just pelting into my window. I'm just going to work through the assumption that a tornado is not going to take out my house tonight. Is that fair? Is that safe to say? What do we got here? What do we have on the... I'm trying to look at the radar and see if it's going to hit. Yeah, see, someone writes to Mersh, Aaron boxes for sport. He would hurt someone who doesn't know how to box. Right, like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, fuck. If you don't know what you're doing in there, you're going to get your fucking head caved in. Even by someone who's very much average like me. Like, you're going to get fucking worked. My lost interest with 199 says, is Gordy with you in the basement? Oh, that's a good point. Gordy, come here, bud. Come here, bud. Come on, Gord. He might be dead already. Oh, fuck. Well, my lost interest, where were you 10 minutes ago when the fucking sirens were going off? Jesus Christ. All right, let's go back to the Kevin Spacey deal. So this one is a little different than his I'm broke thing that he was doing a little bit ago. Cheeseburger Pie says, I just checked the radar. I think it's moving too fast. Yeah, like, I'm going to be fine. Das Optic Nerve says, playing the odds. I like it. Right. So, it's moving too fast. The rain event will be over in 15 minutes. See? It's like that guy in Major League. No, it's too high. It's too high. What I mean is the trajectory of the ball, who gives a shit? It's gone. All right, let's knock out that 170 and call her a win tonight. Let's go to Kevin Spacey. So this one is a little different than I'm broke, I lost all my money, I have to sell my house and put my shit in storage. This one is Kevin Spacey talking about the Clinton Foundation and Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I kind of like this as a redemption arc for Kevin Spacey. Yeah, you may have grabbed the ass of a teenager or two, but if you're willing to go down in flames and just go down torching Epstein and torching the Clinton Foundation and torching the Clintons, if you're willing to give your life for that cause, I salute you. Let's see what Kevin Spacey had to say about Epstein and the Clintons.
In 2015, I started seeing reports online, things on my Twitter account that I had flown to this guy, Jeffrey Epstein's island, and I had abused young girls. And I was...
Right, and you were upset. Yeah, I get that. I know, I understand, Kevin. You were offended. You were pissed. You thought, how in the world would people think I abuse young girls? Now, young boys, on the other hand, look, a man has needs, but not young girls. That would be fucking disgusting.
It was if you'd asked me in 2015, maybe even if you'd asked me in 2002, did I know a guy named Jeffrey Epstein? I probably would have said no. Well, of course, I have since learned who he is. And I have since been able to go back and find out that the airplane that we flew on for this humanitarian mission was owned by Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, shit, is that awesome? So, Epstein, clearly a government agent for either Israel or the United States or both. And his job was basically to have islands and planes and parties and buildings where you could get all of these rich and powerful people in there, and you could either get them doing compromised shit, like having sex with a girl and then telling them, oh, by the way, she's 14. You better pass that fucking legislation we want you to. Or you better push forward this war we want because it's going to make us a lot of money. And if you don't, we're going to show pictures and videos of you fucking a 14-year-old, you fucking perverted pig. So they get something on you. They get you some leverage. But even if you don't do that, now they have planes and these planes that don't fly you to Epstein Island or don't fly you to the underage hookers, but they fly you to a humanitarian event. But the plane's owned by Jeffrey Epstein. So when the shit hits the fan, they can go, well, you rode on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. You're like, yeah, to build, houses for poor kids. And they go, yeah, did you fuck any of the poor kids while you were there on Jeffrey Epstein's plane? No, but how do they believe you? It's Jeffrey Epstein's plane. You're guilty by association now. Fuck, that is brilliant. The people who run the world are really, really smart, and we have to stop pretending they aren't. I mean, boy, do they know how to get people by the balls, literally and figuratively.
And to then learn, he was actually on some of those flights. Ooh. And this Maxwell woman was on some of those flights. I didn't know him. I've never spent any time with him. I was with the Clinton Foundation people. That's who I was with.
That means you grabbed kid ass all by yourself? I mean, Jesus. Kevin Spacey just going, I didn't need no pimp. I just found a 13-year-old boy at a party, and he says I grabbed him, groped him, and threw him on the bed. I don't need Jeffrey Epstein to tell me which side of the middle school to park on.
Now, what I understand is that he didn't start to be investigated until 2005 by authorities in Florida. So here's what I can tell you.
That you're a dead man?
This Maxwell woman, she was one of many people that sat down next to me in that throne room. I have no relationship with her. I had no relationship with him.
All right, cool. So your soul is clean. Now tell us who's fucking dirty, Kev. Let's start a GoFundMe for Kevin Spacey, and we can help him pay for his Baltimore home and his legal bills if he just starts spitting out name after name on that Epstein Island jet. Come on, Kevin. You're fucked anyway, dude. Let some secrets out. Give us something. Start the redemption arc. Because right now we see you as the possible pederast guy. Be the possible pederast guy who threw some dirt on some other bad people. Be a narc.
I mean,
it ain't so bad.
He's not my friend. I'm not a confidant.
Of course, you're not his friend now, Kev. Maybe you've been away a long time. They didn't go up there and tell you, but ain't no Jeffrey Epstein no more.
Spent time with him. And interestingly, I will say this. I was very fortunate that President Clinton introduced me a lot of business leaders in London because he knew I was coming to the Old Vic.
Uh-oh.
And I developed relationships with Robert Earl, Pula Ladobovich, Robert Earl, a lot of wonderful people.
He said Robert Earl twice. He said a lot of great people and then said Robert Earl twice. He didn't meet that many great people. So wait a minute. Is he saying that Bill Clinton was on the fucking jet? Make him clarify that, Piers. No, I can't because I might have been on the jets too. Fuck that. If you said Bill Clinton introduced me to some great people, after you just got done saying I did an event for the Clinton Foundation where I rode on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, Bill Clinton introduced me to a lot of neat people. Bill Clinton on the Jeffrey Epstein plane? Because we all think he was, but it sure would be nice to have third-party confirmation.
Sir Richard Caring, people who supported the work that we did at the Old Vic and gave money to us. Do you know who I never asked for anything? Was Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't want to be around this guy because I felt he put the president at risk on that trip to South Africa because there were these...
So he did just say that Bill Clinton was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet to South Africa. He did just say it. He's like, I kept my distance. I didn't ask for any money from Epstein because I thought he put the president in a bad spot being on that plane. Oh, shit. What do you think, Kev? Did it look like the first time he'd been there, or did he look pretty comfy?
These young girls. And we were like, who is this guy? Oh. So I will say this.
There were young girls on those flights.
There were young girls on those flights, yeah.
Oh, shit. So his show is just on YouTube. Well, goddamn, that's a great promo for his show. Piers Morgan has Kevin Spacey on, and Kevin Spacey says that, what now? Bill Clinton was on a Jeffrey Epstein plane, and there were really young girls on it? Oh, that is a fucking interesting little tidbit there. Michael Willeen with $4.99 says, Aaron, I challenge you to a match of Rock'em Sock'em robots. I got him up in my son's room. Volo Ludo with $5 says Spacey likes the twinks. That's the rumor. Broker and Pencil with $1.99 says he wears glasses to look more trustworthy. Broker and Pencil with $1.99 says Kevin Spacey is a boring nerd PDF. Happy Pride to him, I guess. I don't know. I mean, what are you allowed to call Kevin Spacey? Because he hasn't been convicted of anything. I mean, there's certainly a lot of allegations out there, and a lot of the people who made allegations aren't exactly able to defend themselves or back up their allegations right now. Quite a few of them are dead. I don't think like the Clintons are going to whack him or anything like that. Like I don't think the Clintons are going to kill Kevin Spacey, but woof. That was one of those moments where you're like, I don't know if Kevin Spacey knows what Kevin Spacey just said. Guys, thank you very much for the super chats and the contributions. I appreciate it. The goal tonight is 160, very attainable. You guys are being very generous, very good, steady stream of super chats. PayPal, Venmo, and Streamlabs are in the chat. Thank you very much. We are 160 away with over an hour left in tonight's show. Let's go to this one. This is in Sisters, Oregon. I think this next video we're going to watch is going to tell a lot about you. It's going to tell us a lot about who you are and what you are as a person. Because it's either really funny or it's fucking horrifying. Before we do any of that, though, I do want to tell you guys about the Steel Toe 10th anniversary party. It's the Roast of Aaron Imholt, and it's coming up Saturday, August 10th at Stoney's Bar in Rockville. Tickets are flying, man. We have a lot of people coming already, a lot of VIPs that have claimed their 2 tickets. If you want to do that, AaronImholtRadio@gmail.com. We're taking all the VIP submissions via email. If you want to buy tickets to the Roast, it's $30. If you want to do the cornhole tournament, it's 10. You get to pick your partner. If you want to do both, it's 35. Gino, Keanu, Johnny, Matt, the Aristocox. We're going to try to get Adrian Washington, Corey Adam, Tom Chilstrom, a whole bunch of people. Oz, and a lot of people visiting as well, and hopefully a lot of people chiming in via video vignette as well. So that's the Steel Toe anniversary party. It's the 10th anniversary at Stoney's, Saturday, August 10th. And the Eventbrite link is in the chat if you'd like to get your tickets. Thank you guys very much for everything you've done for this show and keeping it alive for a whole decade. That is fantastic. I'm happier that you guys have kept this thing alive as long as you have. But I'm almost as thankful and happy for the people who hate our guts and can't fucking stand it and lose their shit all the time that we don't completely fall on our face because you keep us going as well. You give us good laughs and entertainment, and we do appreciate it. 155 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, Adam Simon, for the gifted membership, and Hulkamasha Baby for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. 155 away. He's got a clip for us. Oh, shit. This should be fucking wonderful. Let's see what the clip is.
To you heteros, fondling a 13-year-old looks weird, but I assure you I'm a homo. So, and I was also drinking. So that drops actually the age of consent by about 4 or 5 years.
No, that's not. No, that was a joke I was doing. That was a bit that I was doing on the show, Hulkamasha Baby. That wasn't me making an actual statement about what I do. Doesn't even make sense to explain it to you. I feel like judgment has already been passed. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Charger with $5 over on Rumble says, shout out from the Iron Range. Hello, Iron Range. $5 from Atomic Ray says, more tornado horns. Yeah, it's nasty out where we're at. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have one ear on the show and one ear on what's going on outside. I just hope it doesn't wreck my daughter's flowers. We went to the greenhouse last weekend. We planted a shitload of flowers, and she's been taking care of them really well. Dude, she's been, deadheading them and watering them every day. And, I don't know if you know about deadheading flowers, but when one of the flowers starts to wilt, instead of, watering it, taking care of it, try to save it, you just trim it, and then a new one will bud in its place. And she's been doing a fucking killer job of that so far. So I really hope we don't get any hail and it doesn't fuck up her flower bed, because she's been doing a really good job with that. All right, guys, after all that generosity that just came in, 150 is tonight's number. Head on over to PayPal or Streamlabs and knock out the rest of this. All right, have you ever been to a rodeo? They're kind of fun. April and I went to one. This was before she fell into a drug cult. April and I went to one with Raziv Chaz and his wife, and these were back in the days when April still did the things she really liked, and she loved her hobbies, and she wasn't manipulated and stolen away from her friends and family and things she loved doing. We went to a rodeo, and I'd never been to one. April loved them. I'd never been to one, and I kind of thought, well, I'm doing this because she likes it and whatever. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time at the rodeo. That's some pretty, it's high action shit. I didn't know that there was the risk of bulls jumping into the stands and just fucking people up and going crazy. I didn't know that that was a thing. By the way, when we were at the rodeo, not to brag, but they were throwing footballs into the crowd during the event. And they threw one up to me. And we're a few rows back. It's a pretty long distance. The guy with the ball wants me to throw it to him. I tell him, do a little crossing route. Fire that son of a bitch. Hit him right in stride. It was one of my most shining athletic moments. I was so happy. I hit the rodeo clown right in stride. April looked at me. She goes, oh, my God, that was amazing. And then you got to play it cool like you do that all the time. Now she looks at a guy when he does 2 giant rails of Coke, and she goes, oh, my God, that's amazing. Life changes. Life changes. Let's go ahead and watch this. This is a bull, literally a bull at a rodeo, going fucking bananas. This is going to tell you a lot about you as a person. Are you an empathetic person?
Or are you just a person who craves destruction and drama and chaos? Oh, no, not during Lee Greenwood. These fucking county fair hillbillies eat that shit up, and that's exactly what this looks like. This looks like a county fair. So they're doing like the Lee Greenwood. This is like the equivalent of the 7th inning stretch at a rodeo. They stand up, they do God Bless the USA, and this bull, I guess, is a Muslim, and he ain't down with this shit. Uh-oh, he's got a full head of steam. Uh-oh. What's he doing? Oh, shit. Oh! Oh! Dude. Oh, don't worry. If I stand still, the bull won't attack me. Yes, he will. The motherfucker was wearing red, too. Oh, no. You guys want to watch that 9,000 fucking times, please? Me too. Oh, no. Oh, you know what? Judges say that was only 1.5 seconds. He doesn't get a score. Oh, that's too bad. Not only did he get flipped up in the air, he landed on the horns. And then got flipped over again and then got trampled. Should we watch it 99 more times? Oh, my frick. Oh. Yeah, the bull played like beach ball with that motherfucker. Just tried to keep him up in the air as much as he could. I'm upset about the person who dropped their phone or like lowered their phone when the bull jumped into the crowd. That's the shit I wanted to see. Oh, my frick. You just go from NPC to in the game right away. Oh, no, was it a woman? Oh, I don't know if that makes it funnier or not. Oh, and then speared that dude too. Oh, well, that's what happens when you like keep those things in captivity and you fuck with them and you train them and you take all the like natural bullshit out of them. Sometimes they'll go crazy. And that's not what should shock you. What should shock you is the fact that they play so nice in the rodeo. This is a bull-going bull. It's like Chris Rock said about the tiger that ate Roy. Like, oh, that tiger went crazy. I was like, no, that tiger went tiger. It was crazy when he was riding a unicycle. This guy isn't taking any shit from anybody anymore. Boom! Oh, shit. I love how all these rodeo guys in cowboy hats are chasing after the bull like, bro, what the fuck are you going to do, huh? You're next. And then one more guy. This guy. Oh! Whew. All right. So, you know how I said that how we reacted to that was going to tell you who you are? Like, and what kind of person you are? What kind of person are you? Because if you laughed at that and you really enjoyed it and thought it was fucking great, you're a piece of shit. Now, in case you're feeling bad about that, I enjoyed the shit out of that video. So, for what it's worth, Honky with $1 says, didn't we see that bull lunge at a judge a few months ago? I remember that guy. He got some fucking air. Cheeseburger Pie with $1 said, can we get a bull at the anniversary show? Honky says, I love nature correcting itself. That's about what that was. All the smart people were in the stands. Yeah, get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Bullied bulls bully people. Yeah, hurt bulls hurt people. Atomic Ray says the clowns were chasing the strap around the bull's balls. Oh, is that what? Really? So they have like a strap around the bull's balls and you can pull at them and then the bull just kind of goes, oh shit, fuck, no, okay, I'm good. No, I'm behaving. I'm being good. Nope, you don't need to do anything more than that. I got loud and clear. I got you. Das Optic Nerve says, I'm totally on the bull's side. I get it. Mr. Nobody with $1.99 says $30 to give a roast. If already there, pay watch. What?
$30 to give. No, $30 to attend the roast. We're not just letting you pay $30 and then you get to like be a part. No, of course not. Oh, man. $150 away from tonight's goal, and we've got about an hour to knock it out. You guys are doing a great job. Go ahead and throw in on Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, etc. if you'd like to. J. Brock Contrarian says, man, I rode a bull once. Fuck that shit. I landed on my head, and the bull I rode was considered on the tame side. Those dudes are insane. If you can win, though, man, you win a fuckload of money. I think those guys, it's like NASCAR. You get sponsors, and that's what gets you from like tournament to tournament. But you win one of those rodeos, you win a buck or two. How much does a winner get at a rodeo? $28,914 per round. And average winners earn $74,150 each go round. Will pay a total of $93,270. So, yeah, you can win 75 to 90 grand if you win one of those. And then you do it every weekend. It's not a bad payday. I mean, it's an absolutely shitty way to make a living. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. You're away all the time. You're always traveling. I guess if you got nobody at home, it's not so bad. But I don't know. If you're good, it's like anything else. If you're good at it, you can make a shitload of money. All right, moving on with the rest of the program. Like we said, $150 away. If you'd like to contribute, go for it. We got 1 hour left in the final evening show of the week. We hope you're enjoying yourself. We've got, tomorrow morning is going to be a great show. I know a lot of the new fans tune in and they're like, if there's no gossip today, I'm not watching, whatever. Tomorrow it's Gossip Thursday with Keanu. She's got the Instagram messages that she got from Nick, and the more I find out about those, just that creepy fucking manipulative vibe, dude. Ugh. That is just, I will say this. I learned a lot observing Nick. I learned a lot about what I don't want to be and like behaviors that I check all the time before they turn into anything close to what that is. Like the way he had to write Keanu and like try to convince her that you don't know the whole story and I'm a good guy and you don't know the sacrifice I make. Like the way he needed to write to a stranger to convince a fucking stranger that he's a good guy and that what she's seen and what she's heard and what she knows and what she's learned, like all of that is just bullshit. Who you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? And then he's got to like speak for April to Keanu. And she's like, dude, I already thought you were a manipulative cult leader, brainwasher, asshole. Now you're kind of proving it. Like, I don't know what his intent was. I don't know. I think Nick believes that he can control women. He sees them as weak. And he is good at manipulating the weak-minded. Like, I'm sure when April was doing a bunch of blow and I would confront her on it, she would go to him and he would give her the same bullshit copes about cocaine that he gave me. Oh, no, it's okay. Because, like, if you have this much stress and your brain can only handle this much, when you do coke, it gives you a little extra ability to handle that stress for a little while, and it can be kind of a treatment for that. When he told me that, I was like, dude, I have a functioning human brain and it works. That's fucking horseshit. And that's when I would confront him on like, dude, my wife's doing coke every day. I don't fucking like it. You go, oh, it's actually okay. Because he just wanted a drug buddy and he didn't want to feel guilty. Like addicts don't want to hear people like me like fucking criticizing them. So then he would go back to April and he would be like, oh, no, it's actually totally okay to do this because what it is the stress, this and this, that. And April would buy it because, unfortunately, it's a little weak-minded at the time. So Nick runs into like a Keanu who's not like that, and he just gets fucking stonewalled immediately. Now, the problem with trying to manipulate people is that if they don't let you and they pick up that you're doing it, now they're going to expose the shit out of you and they're going to really have you pegged. So manipulators usually do very well to pick their targets. he picked wrong with me, and he picked wrong with Keanu, and I think he picked wrong with his old maid or his old nanny, because the old nanny told Kayla, I just can't take this shit anymore, and she had to get out. So I think tomorrow with Keanu should be very, very interesting to hear about her messages. And like anybody who sends you like long lists of messages and like just a bevy of messages explaining why they're good and everyone else is bad. I mean, to me, that's already kind of shady. Please. That's already a little iffy, if you ask me. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this Ariana Grande thing. She's finally responded to the Nickelodeon documentary, Quiet on the Set. That's the one where all the kids talked about how, you know, Dan Schneider and some others may have done a little touching, to put it mildly. This Dan Schneider guy has done time in jail, but not nearly enough for what he's been accused of, if he's guilty. So now they've been asking all these really big Nickelodeon stars who are still in show business and still have something to lose, like, hey, were you part of this whole Schneider thing? And if you're an Ariana Grande, you do have to kind of be careful about this, because I bet you still work with some of the people that are connected to some of the people that have been linked to this kind of shit. Like the music industry definitely has, you know, a lot of people who talk, if you will, and a lot of unsavory characters, so to speak. So these people who are really famous, if they speak out about like Quiet on the Set, your career's gone. And a lot of these people get addicted to the fame and they don't want that career to leave. So they'll rationalize in their own head why it's not their place to speak up about anything they saw. And that is just really unfortunate. But Grande is finally speaking on the troubling allegations against her former employers at Nickelodeon, voicing her support for the alleged victims who have spoken out. Okay. So she's gone on record as being on the victim side. Okay. Now I want to watch from this moment on how her career goes. And if she releases as many albums, goes on as many tours, because she's still one of the biggest acts out there. But
we had some very special.
Sorry. But if you start ratting on people, especially people in the music industry and, you know, high profile producers and shit, I mean, they get vengeful. They get even. Let's see what Ariana Grande said. By the way, she's probably in her 30s at this point. She still looks like a 19-year-old.
We had some very special memories, and we feel so privileged to have been able to create those roles and be a part of something that was so special for a lot of young kids. I think we're reprocessing our relationship to it a little bit now. Speaking specifically about our show, I think that was something that we were convinced was like the cool thing about us, is that like we pushed the envelope with our humor, and the innuendos were like, we were told and convinced as well that it was like the cool differentiation. And
right. So, okay. So I think what she's getting at is like the pervy producers had us Nickelodeon kids who were doing shows for children to throw innuendos and sexual shit in there. And it wasn't because they wanted it to be the cool show. It's because the people who ran the show were pedo adjacent, at least, in some people's opinions, and wanted to get their fucking jollies off by putting sexual innuendo in children's shows. Like, there's a whole supercut of, like, Nickelodeon being fucking disgusting and, like, having girls with, like, cucumbers and shit like that. And it's, like, it's so obvious after Quiet on the Set came out and now this Ariana Grande thing. It's so obvious that these were just fucking perverts living out their fantasies vicariously through preteen actors. And that, there's a special place in hell for people like that. Like, whatever prison Dan Schneider went to, it should have been worse and it should have been longer. But now all you can kind of do is talk shit about him in movies and documentaries, because can he really be prosecuted for anything more?
And I don't know. I think it just all happened so quickly. And now looking back on some of the clips, I'm like, that's... Damn, like, really?
Yeah.
And shit. Like, if, my daughter, you know, so
right. it's almost like your show was being run by pedos who were secretly diddling all of your friends. So, like, I know these people have their careers and they have families and they need to take care of themselves and everything else. But why doesn't anyone just go fucking scorched earth and make it their crusade and get after it? Like, why does the pedo in Hollywood brigade have to be led by the unfortunate Corey Feldman, who's not believable at all? And every time he's like, I'm going to drop a secret about the pedos in Hollywood. Every time he says he's going to do it, he's like, here's a guy who was the key grip on License to Drive. Well, that's not a somebody. Come on. Give us the names. Like, Corey Feldman is A, chicken shit. And B, he's so fucking mentally ill that nobody can believe him. He's just not a credible witness. Whereas if you got an Ariana Grande who went, you know what? I'm making it my life's mission. I'm going to use my money. I'm going to use my influence. I'm going to use my fame. And I'm going to bury some of these motherfuckers at Nickelodeon. She could do it. But the risk it would be to her career, to her, probably is not worth it. We need to find someone with the conviction of crazy who has enough money in their pocket to say, fuck you, I'm burning it down. But who is that? I mean, I guess you could argue maybe Ariana Grande. She's got more than enough money that she could be done today and everyone would be well taken care of. So fuck it. Let's do it. Burn it down.
Sorry to,
No.
you know, you think about it. It's like if I had a daughter, it's like, and
The craziest part of that is like how many people have to approve it. Like when you start working in
so
television.
many adults.
How many adults?
So many
45
adults.
adults at
No,
least.
so many adults
adults.
approved that. So it's like there's no spirit of responsibility towards children.
Right.
There's a spirit of like a bottom line, a
There
financial
is a bottom line.
You know.
There's
Well, there were a couple bottom lines at Nickelodeon.
a bottom line. And then the things that
Nick and April have still not found their bottom line. It's not nice. It's not nice. And did you know that people are fucking ratting those two out? Like, I got people emailing, like, we've got fans all over central Minnesota. Humble brag. And, like, people keep sending me emails and Facebook messages like, I saw, like, 3 days in a row now, I've gotten texts from people. I saw them here, they look like shit. I saw them here, they look fucking terrible. And, like, one of them was, like, a Kayla and Nick sighting at Walmart, and they said, oh, they look like zombies. And then the last two have been April and Nick getting a pizza at Zorba's and April and Nick getting a burger and Blizzards at DQ. And I'm like, really? No Kayla. So either Kayla's the fuck out of there, which would be smart on her part, and she's getting better, or Kayla's smart enough to go, yeah, we're kind of persona non grata in this community and everyone thinks we're the scum of the earth. Maybe not the best idea to parade your fucking mistress out there, your fucking drug buddy mistress. Oh, thank Christ I got out of that mess. Life is so fucking good now. Oh, the things I've got back like fucking instantly. The amount of people who have forgiven me and just like, and the amount of friends who never felt the need to forgive me in the first place. Just, I'm a lucky man, dude. I look over at that and I just go, fuck it. My life could be so fucked up right now. It's unfortunate that I couldn't get my wife out of there, but like I said, she turned into Little Nick a long time ago. He got his hooks into her, boy, and just... And that's okay. I mean, that's what addicts do. That's what people have to do. They have to ruin other people, or they have to look at themselves in the mirror, and I think that's why I frustrated them so much. I made them look in the mirror, and I was a fucking inconvenience for it. So, look, I understand. But I mean, when they're putting themselves in a hell of their own making, and I've got too much good shit and too much momentum going right now to, be like, because I used to say, oh, I hope they all get better and this and that. It's like, it's in their hands now. Their best judgment got them there. I warned them. Their best judgment got them there. Hopefully they'll switch their judgment and get out. If not, we are a sum total of the experiences that put us here. You are what you chose to do.
that weren't approved for the network were snuck onto like our website or whatever it was. And that is another discovery. But going into it, I guess I'm upset.
These people put their thumbs in your friends. Like, I think you're allowed to be, quote unquote, I guess I'm upset. Like, that's okay. Thank you very much to Adam with $10 over on Venmo. He says, come on, you gays. Pony up. Oh, shit, dude. He's calling you guys gay. Are you gonna fucking take that from Adam? Are you gonna let him throw $10 into this show and then call you guys moes? Los Federales with $5 says Nick and Ape spotted trying to cross into Canada at Rainbow Bride. They heard that the skiing is great up here. Somebody should tell them before they get there that it's a different. Never mind. $2 from Los Federales. He puts a YouTube clip up. What is this?
For us is a brand new song. What's this?
Oh, Corey Feldman on Howard Stern. Is this Ascension Millennium or is this What's Up with the Youth? Which one? Cheeseburger Pie says to hide your problems by different situations. It's a very addictive cope. Yeah, that's fucking true. Atomic Ray says, do we expect anything to change? The Blues have this game going for over 5,000 years now. Nothing is going to stop it. 09 Canyon, are you talking about Ariana Grande? She's too foggy from benzos to feel anything? I mean, she feels... I mean, look, the impression I get from Ariana Grande is that she's saying as much as a person in her position who's still dependent on the industry can say, in fairness to her. By the way, all of those contributions that just came in put us at $135 for tonight. $135 away from adding 30 minutes of overtime to the end of the program. Thank you guys very much. We got about 45 minutes to do that, and you are doing great. The Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, all of that stuff, the links are in the chat. Go ahead and contribute. So some people didn't like Adam calling him a gay, so they threw in $5. Von Kaiser with $5 says, hey, I'm not gay. See, I guess if you don't want to be gay, you got to throw money at us. That's according to Adam. Look, they're not my rules. They're not my rules. 1:30 away from tonight. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, let's go in to some let's go into some other stuff. We've got this one. There's that. I kind of hate the saying "fuck around and find out." I think it's kind of lame. But there are some times where people do shit so stupid, they're so dumb, that even though the consequence they got for their stupidity might be a little too much, you're also like, I'm not going to waste time feeling bad for this person. This next story is out of Renton, Washington, and it happened at a sporting goods store. Some asshole decided that he was going to pull out a toy gun in front of an armed security guard. Oh shit. You know what? We got Los Federales paid for this. Here's a little bit of the Corey Feldman thing. We'll do that first, and then we'll get to this story. I think this is the What's Up with the Youth one. That's right. It's an anti-drug song. Corey Feldman didn't want the kids doing drugs. I know a few people who didn't listen. What the fuck? Was this like the bone Hollywood threw Corey Feldman so he would shut up about getting butt and mouth fucked? Like that. We'll just let him go on the Howard Stern TV show and dance. And we'll let him sing his gay little songs, and then hopefully he'll shut up. That had to be it. Like, this couldn't be a talent agent going, oh, fucking Feldman's got it, man. He's a double threat guy. We got to let him up there to sing. He does this Michael Jackson impression on stage. Totally makes you think Michael didn't fuck him. Remind you of anybody? I think his later stuff is much better. I think you got Ascension Millennium. You've got Take a Stand. You've got his war protest songs. All kinds of good shit from Corey Feldman in the early 2000s. I mean, he was just getting started, you know? Let's go to this sporting goods story out of Washington. This is just it's like it's one of those stories, like I said, where you're just too fucking dumb for me to feel bad for you.
Only homicide case involving a teenager this week, unfortunately. Bail now set at $2 million for the man accused of shooting and killing a teenager in Renton. Como's Ryan Sims learned that incident may have been the result of a misunderstanding.
Well, then how are you going to hold a guy on $2 million bail if it was all over a misunderstanding? If the guy didn't even, like, if he shot the guy in cold blood, I get it. But if it's all just a misunderstanding, then let the poor guy go.
Did vigilante justice cause the death of a Renton teenager? That is the stunning accusation following the homicide of a 17-year-old at this strip mall.
He saw these kids walking inside with their airsoft guns, and he took it upon himself to confront them.
According to new court.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of those airsoft guns look legit. And if you're walking into an establishment, you see 3 people with guns. And by the way, even if they're airsoft guns, I don't think they should be let into a store, because you can still be a little shithead about it. So 3 kids with guns, airsoft or not, were walking into a store. This guy stops them.
Papers, the 51-year-old suspect was an off-duty armed security guard. As he waited for his son to get out of martial arts classes nearby, he told police he saw 3 teens walk past him, with one of them carrying a gun. Even though he had no security jurisdiction over this strip mall, police say he confronted those group of teens at gunpoint anyway and accused them of trying to commit armed robbery.
The 17-year-olds were trying to tell him they were just BB guns, but the altercation intensified so rapidly that unfortunately the gun was fired.
During the scuffle, the suspect told police one of the other teens reached into their waistband.
Oh, no. Yeah, see, you pull shit like that. And that's why it's so hard to believe the news right away on any kind of shooting story, where they're like, oh, especially when it's teenagers who get shot, and they're like, oh, a teenager is dead. My first thing I hear when a teenager gets shot dead now is I'm like, oh, God, what retarded thing did they do to cause this to happen? Because it's almost never, oh, this poor 17-year-old was just eating at the food court and some crazy cop just popped him in the head. No. Now, you can say the security guard was overzealous by seeing them and confronting them at gunpoint, but if he thought they had real guns, what's he supposed to do? And then you reach into the waistband of your pants. I mean, how fucking stupid can you be?
Following an investigation, officers discovered that the boys were actually carrying airsoft guns. The 2 surviving teens said they were simply at this sporting goods store to make an airsoft gun exchange. This case sending shockwaves through Renton.
I have the Citizens app, and it's just shooting after shooting after shooting.
The suspect.
Yeah. So the security guard's like, oh, shit, this is an area where there's just lots of shootings, and I see kids walking into a store with a gun. I got to stop them. I get it.
In this case, now being held on $2 million bail, and a judge found probable cause for second-degree murder.
Ooh.
In Renton, Ryan Sims, Como News.
I mean, maybe because the guy, like, walked up to him and had the gun on him right away. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's the case, that you could charge him with second-degree murder, because in that way it's sort of premeditated. But even then, I mean, I feel like the guy saw a potential problem. How's he so... A lot of those airsoft guns look exactly like real guns. So it's hard to tell. Let's go to Burnside, renewing his membership for the 4th month. Says, when exactly is the goal going down? That's a great question. We got to see what the raises look like for everybody. We got to see how much we're paying our people for being very fucking loyal. I think, well, like tonight, it went down 50. I think we could be, it started at 200. We've been starting a little lower this week. Probably 20, 30 bucks in the morning. I mean, you got to remember there's 20 to 25 morning shows in a week. Or, I'm sorry, in a month. In a week. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, it'll be going down pretty soon, but you got to give me time to fucking do the books and see what comes in this first month here and then go from there. But, yeah, it'll go down a little bit. But you got to forgive me. I got to take care of Johnny. I got to take care of Keanu and Gino, who have been doing this show for less than what they're worth for a long time. And I'm sorry, but I got to take care of my people first. Then we'll drop that goal. And Burnside, that's a pretty straightforward, more honest than I need to be answer for you. So I hope you appreciate that. 130 away from tonight's goal. Let's go to Venmo. Let's go to PayPal. Let's go to Streamlabs. Let's drop in a few bucks and let's knock out that $130 in the next 40 minutes and call it another win for the toe and another win for the evening shows. That'll be the end of evening show goals for the week. And boy, will that feel good. So just go to those links that are in the chat. I appreciate it. Very cool of you. You guys have it marching down so far. $25 per show. Sounds decent, Maine. Worth 20. Thank you, Cope Habit. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we'll go down. Yeah, I think we could probably go down 20. Evil Gandhi says it's inflation, so the goal remains the same. Be thankful Aaron hasn't raised it. No. Stop it. I see a lot of, when I go back into the chat, I love the seething I see from people that we've been on the win streak we have been. Guys, it won't last forever. Fucking relax, all right? We'll be back. We will miss again. I promise, okay? Quit acting like we're just like you have to just be so salty and sour all the time. You're fucking depressing how bummed out you are. You don't have to watch if you hate that we're doing okay. I mean, we'll struggle again. Don't you worry, all right? Things are a little up right now. They'll settle in. I've been telling you this. Stop being so melodramatic. I hate that the haters we have. We've always said we deserve a better class of hater. I hate that I have to comfort all of you all the time. It's a really, honest to God, I almost feel bad for you. All right, let's go to Sacramento, California. By the way, knock it out for them, guys. Knock out that last 130 for those guys, the salty ones. I don't think they realize how much they help us sometimes. They don't want to admit it either. It ruins their fun. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Thank you, guys. 130 is the number. We'll do 30 minutes of overtime tonight. California teacher arrested for DUI, child endangerment, is now going to face no charges because, according to the court, it's not illegal to teach drunk. So they caught her being hammered at the school. They believe that she drove to and from the school while she was inebriated. The problem is if you don't pull them over while they do it, it's harder to prove, and you may not be able to charge them. And it sounds like that's what's happening here. We'll check it out.
Criminal charges for a Sutter County second grade teacher who was arrested at school for DUI and child endangerment.
DA saying teaching while drunk just isn't illegal. You report.
I don't think that's a Pandora's box you want to open, quite frankly. The minute teachers get wind of the fact that there's a loophole that teaching drunk is not against the law, there's a lot of them that are going to want to crack a bottle. That is a fucking terrible job. And I know the money isn't as bad as they say it is, but still, think of the fucking caliber of human that you deal with on a daily basis. I'm sure most kids who go to school are nice and they're polite and they're fine, and the bell rings, and they come in, and the bell rings, and they go out. But that's how you're supposed to behave. Then you've got the fucking shitbags. You remember what you and your friends were like in high school. Do you want to deal with that for a living? Not only do you have to deal with how little you want to be there, but they also have to then try to train you little retards to be adults. And as we've seen from the adults we've been getting lately, they're failing miserably. Everyone under 40 is fucked. You're all brain damaged.
Reporter Tori Apodaca is on this one getting answers on why this is the case. Tori.
Yeah, so now we know that there are no criminal charges coming against that second grade teacher, but parents are concerned about what type of precedents this sets, that teachers can be in the classroom while intoxicated.
No, okay, first of all, no, they can't. Let's stop pretending that just because this lady isn't getting thrown in jail that there are no consequences for teaching drunk. I'm pretty sure the school can still fire her. Like, you can still can a teacher because they're hammered in the middle of class. I mean,
You can fight that one if you want to, and I guess the teachers union can fight it too, but do you really want to get the reputation for being a union that sticks up for people who are hammered around children? Not a good idea. They're calling it the Ricada rule.
It is not illegal to teach drunk.
The shocking discovery after a months-long investigation into Sutter County second grade teacher Wendy Munson, who was arrested last October for driving drunk in child endangerment.
There was the possibility that she drank after she arrived at the school.
That's why District Attorney Jennifer Dupre couldn't file any charges, even though investigators say the teacher was on the job with the blood alcohol content level 2 times the legal limit.
Ooh, a 0.16. That's not bad. It's toasty. You can still walk at 0.16. I mean, that's not, it's bad, but it's not like hopeless bad. You're just going to have a teacher who's a little more chatty when they teach school that day.
With any job, if you show up to work intoxicated.
Anybody do you know the year that the War of 1812 was fought in? I just gave you the answer, you little fucks.
It's a fireable offense, I would imagine.
Consistent with most schools, New Estro Elementary is a drug and alcohol-free zone.
What?
The staff handbook stating that for violators of...
You might want to talk to the students because based on the amount of pot that I know was sold at my school, I don't think they're all listening to you.
This, the board shall require termination when termination is required by law.
I certainly don't support anyone teaching children drunk, but I can't charge them criminally.
Dupre says there is also inconsistency in the law for child endangerment, saying it's a matter of proving the teacher would endanger versus may endanger the children.
And we couldn't prove that her intoxication would endanger them.
Parents think teachers should be held to a higher standard.
Being a school teacher is a little bit unique because parents are entrusting their children to a teacher, to the school.
Yeah, they did the same with Catholic priests back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and it didn't work out so well. Look, they're not angels, they're human. And sometimes when someone's a little too human for a job like teaching children, you got to cut them loose. And I hate that in the handbook it says termination is required when it's required by law. It's like, okay, so they have to be charged with a crime before you can fire a teacher for being shitty at their job? What if the students all just like suck on the tests and don't do their homework? Do you have like the most unlucky class of all time? No, that teacher fucking stinks. Get rid of them. You can't. They have to commit a felony first. Have you been to Spicer?
But the law disagrees, leaving it up to districts to decide how to discipline.
So we tried because I don't like the conduct. It's not acceptable, but unfortunately it was not criminal.
So I am still working to get a response from the district, but on its website, Munson is no longer listed as a teacher.
Well, good.
According, though, to the Commission of Teacher Credentialing, a credential could be revoked from a teacher if they do engage in this type of misconduct, except it's really on a case-by-case.
Okay, so it's on a case-by-case basis. So what's the problem? All right, she's not going to get DUI. She's not going to get any kind of charges. That kind of sucks. Whatever. Oh, well. But she got fired from the school. What more do you want? What do you need, blood? She got fucked up because she was tired of teaching snot-nosed kids all the time. It happens. No big deal. Let her go. If they would have kept her at the school and kept her working, okay, then I would see that, that's fucked up. But she's gone. Let her go. Pip with $5 says, let's keep the win streak going. Thank you, buddy. No Pen 15 Fathead, a member for almost 2 years now, says, I'm a regular contributor and don't care about a goal. Well, thank you. Tampa Terry with $9.99. Thank you, pal. 120 away from tonight's goal. Let's see what Tampa Terry has to say. Corey was doing better when he was with Steel Toe. Well, isn't that kind of up to him? Like, maybe, like, statistically, sure, because he was attached to a bigger show, but what if he's happier doing what he's doing now? Does that, I'm sorry, I hate to be a hippie about it, but, like, if he's happier now than he was getting up at 5 in the morning, I mean, isn't that technically him doing better? His shorts with the Middle Eastern hippie are cringe. Have you seen them, Aaron? Is Corey and Baghdad Bob on drugs too now, bro? Corey ain't funny no more. I'm sure Corey's still funny. And I've been trying to get a hold of Corey and ask him if he wants to come up for the anniversary show and be part of the roast. Not only do I think he'd be great, I think he'd make a great roast master. Like if we made him the host of the whole thing, I think that could be kind of cool. We got a half hour left before we either win or lose and add a half hour of overtime to the show. We're only 120 away. So if you'd like to keep contributing, there's the links in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble Rants, etc. Just making sure I didn't miss any Rumble Rants. Okay, I got all 4 of those. Thank you guys very much. Let's make that 120 go down to 0 in the next 25 minutes, and we'll call it another win for the toe. Should we take a look at Corey's YouTube, you think? See what they've got there for him? Corey, I think it's what? Corey Adam Comedy? Corey Adam Comedy on YouTube. There he is. Over 2,000 subscribers. That's not bad, right? 2 weeks ago, he did something. Streamed 5 days ago. Oh, wow, he doesn't stream very much. Is he mostly on Twitch still? Because this is 2 weeks ago he did something. 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Shorts. He's been doing shorts. Should we check these out? These are what, a minute and under?
Spring's time. Diving board. Salamander. Their habitat. Federally protected. No. Well, that's my cue. Get arrested! Just kidding, but I'm gonna leave. Dog area. Barton Springs rules. Spring's time. Diving board.
Okay. This one's called Perfume Out of Control.
Perfume fragrances are out of control. Smell like discipline sport. Ariana Grande's Cloud. How about Sexual Secret? Ooh, I want to smell like Midnight. Or my personal favorite, Mercedes-Benz. Oh, good. I want to smell like a rich old car. Ick. Perfume fragrances are out of control. Smell like discipline sport.
Why do they get cut off so much? Like, why does he have clips where the thing gets cut off? I don't like that. Manager walks into a bar. Or no, manager walks. All right, let's take a look.
These are manager walk. The interview.
The manager that doesn't work.
The manager who quit and nobody... Hey, where are you going? What? The manager's firing you. Aw. These are manager walk. The interview.
Okay. But, if he... I don't like to go, because that means that I, people are going to think that I now think it sucks. If he likes doing that, if that's what he enjoys doing now, then fuck it. Let him do it, right? Who gives a shit? What time will you be done with boxing tomorrow? About 8. I'll be done at 8. 8, or I can go earlier. If it's going to be nice out. I think the lovely young woman that I'm seeing wants to do something tomorrow. That would be okay with me. She says it's going to be very nice out. What time am I done with boxing? I'm done with boxing at 8. I feel like that's a bad answer. So I feel like 8 o'clock's kind of late for a nice day kind of a thing. We'll see. Elza Belza says, Corey ghosts you like April ghosts Keanu. Oh, man. Is that really necessary? Vidam says, please bring Corey back to Steel Toe. I really miss Corey on Wednesdays. Corey made the show fun and more interesting. I would trade April for Corey every day. I did extend an offer to Corey to co-host Wednesdays on Steel Toe. I would like him to say yes, but, he's got a schedule and the finances have to work for him to come back to do it. Look, we'll see. I would love it if he came back and did Wednesdays. 09 Canyon says, looks like he's having fun. Exactly. If he's having a good time, if he enjoys what he's doing, who are we to shit on it? 20 minutes until we start asking you guys for a couple of bucks. 120 away from today's goal. Let's knock that out and call it a victory in a victory for the evening shows this week. A Dallas megachurch pastor is stepping down after admitting to undisclosed years-old sin. Uh-oh. In my opinion, that means he's fucking. If you're a pastor, there's only, like, if you're stepping down and you won't tell people what the sin is, you're sticking your dick in somebody. Some lady or some dude. I don't think it's gay. I think he's probably just fucking a chick. A statement says the sin happened years ago. Tony Evans, a Dallas megachurch pastor and best-selling author, is stepping away from his ministry leadership role. On Sunday, the Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship senior pastor announced that he is stepping down because he fell short of the biblical standards required of him as a pastor a number of years ago. The foundation of our ministry has always been our commitment to the Word of God as the absolute supreme standard of truth to which we are to conform our lives. When we fall short of that standard due to sin, we are required to repent and restore our relationship with God. I really do hate the vagaries, though. You know? Like, I don't like the vagaries of, like, well, I sinned. And, like, you will take money. These people will fill up your offering plate every single week. You will preach the word of the Lord. You will tell them that, you know, exactly how their souls can be saved. This, that, and the other thing. But when it comes to this sin, when you're telling them, look, I can't be here anymore. I'm really sorry, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, well, what's the sin? You're like, well, it was a bad sin. It was a long time ago. No. I throw my money in the hat every Sunday like everybody else. Did you fuck her? That's what everybody wants to know. A number of years ago, I fell short of the standard, or of that standard. I am, therefore, required to apply the same biblical standard of repentance and restoration to myself that I have applied to others, he added. In light of this, I am stepping away from my pastoral duties and am submitting to a healing and restoration process established by the elders. Oh, see, now that might be gay. We might have a guy who maybe licked a butthole or two back in the day. Because if you just fucked some strange, and by the way, as a mega church pastor, it would be really hard to say no to pussy. Because it's not like you're a Catholic priest where you have to swear off marriage and swear off sex and all that. If you're a mega church pastor, it's your church. You literally make the rules. So if you say pussy is good, then pussy is good and God is great. And if you've got, I mean, you dress nice, you know, you're a spiritual leader. I mean, look, if you use your position as a spiritual leader to fuck broads, are you like unholy in the eyes of God and a total piece of shit? Yeah. But like how many guys, you know, how many of these pastors or cult leaders or whatever do it? They all do. You know, who was the guy who had the chick who wore all the makeup? Baker. Something Baker. He had a wife named Tammy Faye. She wore like clown makeup. And wasn't he fucking some chick? And like he blubbered and cried, apologizing about it. And she stood by him and was like, oh, he's still a good man. He just fell short in the eyes of God. Jimmy Baker, I think was his name. Who was the megachurch pastor who was fucking male prostitutes in the hotel room and his wife had to uncomfortably sit there? Swaggart. What was not Bob Lee. Jimmy Swaggart? He was crushing man ass, and he went and gave the apology in front of his church, and his wife had to stand there, and it was fucking hideous to have to watch. Birdman with $2 says, gotta check on Ed and Michelle's food adventures. I don't know. I think the people who knock out overtime today should get to pick. I think that's only fair. Elza Belza says you should call when oh no, she's talking to somebody else. Mick Luck says Aaron going to be doing a Hall & Oates duet. No, I'm not. Tammy Faye. Yeah, Tammy Faye Baker and I think Jimmy Baker. And he was fucking around and he had to apologize. And like, In religion, they're big on that stand by your man shit. So, like, when they stand there next to him at the press conference, it's like, oh, isn't she great? Isn't she wonderful? But then the things the guy's admitting to is just like, yeah, I used to hire male prostitutes and bring them to a hotel after I was done preaching and fuck them in the butt. Swaggart was one of those guys who, like, Swaggart was like a super anti-gay pastor. And like when he stopped preaching, he would go to hotels after he told people that they're going to be, torn asunder down into the depths of hell and everything else. And then he would just go butt fuck guys, which, seems you're kind of hogging it all for yourself. You're cock blocking everybody at your church. They don't get to, cornhole anybody. And then you go to a hotel, you order some room service, and you get cock blasted. Hey, it's the very definition of hypocritical. But this guy in Dallas won't tell us exactly what he did. But the fact that he has to go to the spiritual elders or whatever, and the fact that they have to get him on a path to repent, I think that means he might have touched a butthole or two. This will afford me a needed time of spiritual recovering and healing. Evans did not provide any details about the sin he committed, nor did he say when the incident occurred. He said he did not break any laws. Well, then it's fucking. It's not clear what prompted Evans to accept accountability at this time if the undisclosed sin occurred years ago. What was the, I wanted to ask you guys about this. I think it was idolatry, witchcraft, and hatred. I want to read something to you about something that was at the church that we went with, April and I went to Nick and Kayla's church. And you know how in that search warrant, it said that the church people thought that we had a fucked up relationship and it was really weird? And they thought that there was something freaky deaky going on with the Ricadas and the Imholtz, which they were right. We were switching partners. There was a passage read. There was a gospel read when we were there, that now that I know what the church, thought about us and everything else, I honest to God believe that sermon was directed at us. And it fucking worked for me because it was Galatians chapter 5. And when they started doing Galatians chapter 5, I started looking at everybody going, guys, this is what we're doing. I'm not really a man of God, so to speak. But if I'm in a house of God, I don't want to disrespect the big man, so to speak. So I'm looking at the Ricadas, Nick, remember, he's on the air about I'm trad dad, I'm a Christian guy, blah, 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 blah. Biggest degenerate out of all four of us. And he's like, I'm a Christian guy, I'm a trad dad, and this and that. Who would have thought that the only guy in the group of four who admits he's an asshole and a scumbag is the best dad out of the bunch? Not by much. I'm not saying I clear a high bar. It's a very tiny bar, but I could step over it. But I'm sitting here, the pastor is reading this Galatians chapter, and I'll read it to you in a second. You can tell me what you think if it was directed at us. And I'm looking at those guys. I'm like, guys, what the fuck? What are we doing here? We get in the car. I go, Nick, you didn't think that was a little fucked up? He's like, well, what you need to understand about the evangelical church now is that they're all prudes and they don't really understand modern sexual relationships. And they've kind of been beaten down by society to believe that. I'm like, beaten down by society? They're just reading the fucking word of God. Aren't you a Christian? You believe in this shit. And Kayla's like, I believe God put us all here to love each other and he wouldn't let us do that if he didn't have a plan. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm watching us. I'm like, we're really just doing the thing where we excuse the Bible verse and bend it to our will. We're doing a heretic thing. And I'm like, do you guys want to talk about this? And it was just, nope, next thing. Fuck it. Let's just move on. That was a lot of big conversations that I was interested in having, or that sometimes other people would be interested in having big conversations about the nature of the degeneracy. And everyone would just go, Fuck it, move on. Let's not talk about it. Too uncomfortable. It's disappointing, but this was the Bible verse. And you tell me if the Recatus Church, now that we know that Bible verse was like that our relationship together was seen by the church as unholy and fucked up and weird, and it was part of the search warrant. You tell me if this Bible verse was directed at us or it was just a coincidence. You, my brothers, and this is Galatians 5:13 to like 25. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. For the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you bite and devour each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, but the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. They read this in church while all four of us were there with the children. Not mine. Mine weren't there. Envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I wasn't looking up to see if they were staring right at us when they read it. But fuck, now that I saw what I saw in that search warrant, I was like, oh my God, we were debasing the Lord in his own house. We were making a mockery of this fucking church. Like, what fucking garbage I am. And then when we all tried to talk about it later, everybody just put a pass on it. And by the end of it, I probably fucking did too. Envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking, and envying each other. Am I wrong? Or did they read that fucking just for us? I mean, am I paranoid? Because it's only after the search warrant came out that I was like, I think that after the search warrant, I went, that fucked with all of us so much. I wonder if it wasn't intentional. I don't know. Let's see. Weren't you... God wanted you to hear that, said Uncle Baby Billy's Healthy Elixir. Oh. I wonder if that wasn't intended for us directly. I mean, it could have been an accident. In fact, it's kind of conceited to think it was about you, but I don't know. It seems it. Yeah, Mick Luck says it was tailor-made. It does seem that way. It does seem that way. Oh, man. We've got, what are we at before we're on? We got 9 minutes left. $120 away from tonight's goal. Does the win streak continue or does the win streak wrap up tonight? Let's see. We've got 8 minutes left before we run out of time, and we are $120 away. I almost took tonight off because I was like, the weather's shitty. I'm fucking exhausted. It's a solo show. I'm dragging ass with the kids all day, whatever. Let's see. Let's knock out that final 120 and make it all worth it tonight, guys. Go ahead and chip in. There's the links in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo,
super chats, rumble rants, etc. As far as this guy in Dallas goes, he's probably a little bit better than we were. I mean, whatever he did was probably mild. I don't know. Now, while Oak Cliff Fellowship is non-denominational, most Christian churches derive their requirements for the position of elder or pastor from important biblical passages like 1 Timothy 3:1-7 and Titus 1:6-9. Those letters limit the role of elder and pastor to mature Christians who are above reproach and do not engage in sexual immorality or adultery, are sober-minded and not drunkards, disciplined, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach and lead others, not violent, gentle, blah, 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 blah. So he probably committed some adultery or, I don't know, maybe did some drugs at worst. That sounds like probably what he did. Usually if a pastor has to take some time off for stuff, he's probably fucking. That's usually what they get caught for. I mean, in this guy's case, probably good. He just didn't get get caught fucking a dude. That Ted Haggard thing was pretty bad. All right, guys, we got about 6 minutes left. Ron Knitska with $10 says Nick and April were spotted at the First Pagan Church in New London where they have a rail on the altar. I think that I'm going to say allegedly on that one. Tampa Terry with $4.99 says God, Trump, and guns, Aaron, brother. Thank you, Tampa Terry. We appreciate that. All right, guys, 6 minutes away from knocking it out or 6 minutes away from wrapping up the show. If you're feeling generous, throw us a few bucks and let's knock this thing out and call it a W and do an extra half hour. $110 is the number. We're going to rattle the cans and beg you a little bit to see if we can knock it out. This part, oh my God, the haters hate this. Yeah, you suck. I hate you. Why do you do this? Make them cry, guys. Either make them cry or throw them a bone. Either one. Either way, hey, they're going to be the way they're going to be, and God bless them for being here. They're just fans. They don't know it yet. All right, thank you, Tampa Terry. Thank you, Ron. We're $110 away from knocking it out tonight. Where are we at? 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. We've got 110 away. We've got all the links in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. Mick Luck says Jimmy Carter lusted in his heart. Yeah, that was a big deal because that's like a big sin in Christianity. Like lusting in your heart after someone. And in a Playboy interview, he admitted, he's like, look, I got lust in my heart. I ain't perfect. That was kind of, back then, that was kind of big for a president to admit. All right, 5 minutes to go. $110 away. We have been on a massive fucking winning streak all spring and summer long. Let's see if we can keep that winning streak going, or if maybe I should have just taken the night off tonight. $110 left to go, and 4 minutes and 20 seconds away from failing or succeeding and adding another 30 minutes in. $110. All the links are in the chat. Click one of them. Throw a couple bucks in there. Let's all rally up together and knock this thing out. Cheeseburger Pie says, you owe me, Aaron. I paid for no Eric Church, and you failed. No, I didn't have any. There was no Eric Church. None. Zero. Landers says, I don't hate you, Aaron. Your boobs get me all lusty. Well, see, that's a sin. BJ with $5 says, Aaron, Nick, April, Kayla, the 4 horsemen of the POLYCULE lips. The POLYCULE lips. Do you get it, Carnegie Hall? Thank you very much, buddy. 105 away from tonight's goal. 3.5 minutes to go. We got to knock this thing out and keep that win streak alive, or people who don't like me are going to make fun of me. All right, let's see if we can do it. Let's make them cry one more time with another win for the toe. 105 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Get in there. Knock it out. Help us out. Throw in what you can throw in. This has been a fucking terrible show that I've done for you tonight. I know it's not worth it, but maybe we can knock it out. 3 minutes to go. Let's hammer her out. We got a bunch of stuff coming. We got, a bunch of people getting electrocuted in a hot tub at a Mexican resort. It's all kinds of fun. We've also got a gender fluid Australian musician setting up a foundation to pay for girls to have their tits cut off. Like, couldn't you give them to someone who's like incredibly flat-chested and like help them out a little? And also, Ray J wondering if he changed the course of humanity with the Kim Kardashian sex tape. Actually might be onto something there. All right, first, we can't do any of those stories unless we knock out that $100 we've got left. Go ahead and throw in a couple. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble rants, gifted memberships. Come on, guys. 2.5 minutes to go, and we are $100 away. We need to hammer this thing out. We need to make it go tonight, or I'm going to feel like, fuck, why did I come on? I was thinking about taking the night off. We made like $100. I should have fucking stayed away. Das Optic Nerve says, this show sucks. Please donate. That's where I'm at right now. 2-minute warning. Let's get in there. Throw us a couple of bucks. Right now, a bunch of haters are watching this show going, good, I fucking hate him. I hope you lose. This makes my whole goddamn day. I'm going to have a terrible day today and tomorrow if this guy keeps making money. I mean, I don't want to make him happy, but, you know, if it keeps him from, you know, walking on the train tracks, I guess there's that. All right, guys, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Boy, I fucking stunk tonight, didn't I? I sucked ass, didn't I? You can tell me. You can let me know. It feels like I did a dog shit show. I felt like I was pressing the whole time. I felt like it was god-awful. I don't want to see the winning streak come to an end, but you guys don't like me by myself, do you? You want me on with somebody. All right, we got 1 minute left. It looks like we're going to fuck up and fail tonight. It's probably my fault. There's all the links in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, etc. Cheeseburger pie. It's so fun to see a train wreck. I know, tonight's show was a disaster. I should have taken it off. I had a weird premonition that it was all going to come crashing down tonight. And here we go. Fuck. Little over 30 seconds left. Sweaty Tryhard with 99 cents. Boy, is that the right name to be writing in tonight. We'll take a phone call when time expires here. Crunchy, go ahead. 40 seconds.
What's up, bro? First of all, my condolences on failing this evening. I have faith in this audience. I think they can handle it.
Dude, we're fucking. It's a train wreck.
You're still on the Rodeo thing. Do you remember that clip that you showed of people being like, "Oh my God, they took April to church"? And do you remember that was like a 12-second clip?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pastor at that point was asking for all the families with children to stand up. And I thought that the timing was really interesting on that. And if you've ever been to church, I think you know that like typically that leads into something like low-key shaming or trying to get people to do better. I don't know. That's just the vibe I got.
Okay.
I was curious if you noticed that. Also. But
no, I didn't. Well, we failed the goal tonight, so I'm going to get out of here and enjoy my night.
10-4. Good,
right,
buddy. You have a good night.
You too. Bye. Thank you, Crunchy. All right, guys. I sucked tonight. We failed. Well, we didn't fail. I failed. That was fucking terrible. Oh, my God. Hold on. 20 gifted memberships from Adam. Guys, time out. 20 gifted memberships. I gotta do some math on that. That's 52. So that's 50. That brings us down to $50 for tonight. I think that means I got to do do I have to do the overtime on credit? I feel like we're not going to get it. Like, if I do overtime on credit, we're going to fucking fail. Like, I'm going to do 30 free minutes of overtime, and nobody's going to throw in any money. So, I don't know if I should do it or not. I guess it's the rules, right? Because Sweaty Tryhard gave 99 cents, so technically that's inside of $50. All right. Here's the deal. I'll throw you 15 minutes of overtime, but if we're not knocking down that goal in that 15 minutes, I'm going to skedaddle and enjoy the rest of my night and prep tomorrow morning's show. Does that sound good? People in the chat are saying, do it. Okay. Then fucking throw in a couple of bucks and let's knock out this 50. What do you say? You guys are, by the way, keeping our win streak going by the fucking skin of our teeth lately. To Be Strange says to take your grifted money and leave. It's not grifted money. People love this fucking show. Just because you don't doesn't mean other people don't. It's too bad. Michael with $10 says, quit whining. I mean, it worked. Sorry. That puts us 40 away from tonight's goal. There you go. Other people get really mad when we really hammer away at the goal. I don't fucking mind. Like, it's never bothered me. So the fact that it bothers other people kind of makes me happy. Thank you very much to Kyle. Says, here you go, buddy, and throws $20 at us. Look at that. Oh, now they come around. 20 away from knocking it out tonight. You guys are the absolute best. Look at you fucking taking pity on your host. Toss Optic Nerve says, this show sucks. I love it. Lander says, if you left, we won't hate you, but in the morning, we will just bust your balls. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, 20 away. You guys have convinced me. I'll keep my head off the train tracks tonight, and we'll do your 30 minutes. Knock out that last 20, and we'll call it another win for the toe. So apparently a shitload of tourists got electrocuted in a hot tub in Mexico. This is one of those things that's awesome to watch if you're not in the hot tub. But if you're in that fucking hot tub, kiss your ass goodbye. At least 2 people were allegedly electrocuted at a resort in Mexico. And the aftermath appears to have been caught on camera, which shows one person receiving CPR. Now, I always thought that if water got electrocuted and you were in it, you're dead. Like, I didn't know that there was like an electrocution in water where you didn't die. Because I thought water just carried the electrical current and just zapped you up. Apparently, I'm wrong. The video is making the rounds on social media, and it purports to capture the moments after at least 2 individuals were zapped in a jacuzzi at a hotel Tuesday evening near Puerto Penasco along the Gulf of California. The footage shows a big crowd standing around a hot tub on the grounds, and you can see one man get yanked out by the others while another person is laid out flat on their back. Oh, boy. The exact details of what happened are still fuzzy. That's probably not the best choice of words. But folks online claim to have witnessed to it, allege the tub had a surge of electricity run through it, which allegedly ended up hurting the people inside. It's unclear how many people might have been affected. Fuck. Dude, how many like free vouchers are you handing out? Like, how much free shit are you offering? And how quickly are people talking to lawyers going, don't accept any gifts from this resort. We got you. You get electrocuted in a resort's hot tub, you've probably got a payday coming. You know, one thing when someone's just been electrocuted and is near death and is lying on the ground, you know what they don't need? A bunch of other fat, shirtless, wet people crowding around them and sucking up all the oxygen. You ever heard the term back up, give him some air? Get the fuck out of it. Don't. A guy's electrocuted. He's sitting there flopping like a crappie in a boat, and you're going to stand right over top of him staring at him. Leave him alone, for fuck's sake. Let the doctor go to work. I love how some people are getting back into the hot tub. Boy, that's ballsy. Like 3 people just got zapped in there, and you're like, the worst of it's probably over. All right. Hey, guys. When we're in an emergency and people are stressed and there's bad shit going on, the screeching and the screaming is definitely not helping. God, people are terrible in emergency situations, and we train for them and we plan for them. And when it comes nut cutting time, we're just a bunch of panicky fucking animals. Guys, they will update you on what's going on. Give him some space. All right, where's the CPR being done? Oh, is that a person floating, or that guy's brave taking his shirt off? Okay, I'm trying to see in the mass of fat fucking humanity. Jesus Christ. Can Americans get it together? We're going on vacation, and every single one of these people is morbidly obese. They all make me look like I'm in good shape. This is fucking human. Now I'm just mad at how fat America is. This big fucker, 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 that 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 big fucker. Oh, she is out cold too. Holy shit. God, we are a disgusting mob of humanity. And we all pay for that, by the way. Like in extra healthcare costs and all that shit, we all pay for it, believe you me. Evan Barsack with $20 says, awesome show, Aaron. Thank you. The Front Porch Conservative with $5 says, Aaron, quick update. April and Nick have been sighted in Telluride, Colorado. Rumor has it they heard the powder up there is great this time of year. Ron Konitska with $10 says, too much KY in the hot tub. Aaron? Hey, what the fuck would I know about the... Nick the Milkman with $5 says, Aaron, what's the difference between you and Gino? He has a bride-to-be. You have a used-to-be bride. Now make fun of my shitty joke I paid for. I can't make fun of any of these shitty jokes. Hey, to all the people who think I'm the worst guy in the world in the chat, I have terrible news. It's another win for the toe. Sorry about that. Oh, boy. Adam says, I'm so proud of you guys. Yeah, they teamed up at the end there to knock it out, didn't they, Adam? Thank you, buddy. Oh, got the W. Are you mad? Danny Crook's. I see Danny Crook is mad. I'm only going in the regular chat just to see who's seething about it. Danny Crook is seething about it. Danny, it doesn't matter how it happens, buddy. It's about laughing at you along the way. I'm having a great fucking time. You're laughing? Then we're both having a great time. Then I've entertained you. It sounds like a win-win, pal. Oh. Danny Crook blocked me, says Taste Fairy. Oh, he's a big badass. Then a bunch of people in the chat saying another win for the toe. Oh, man. I guess it works for other shows. Maybe someday it'll work for you guys with me. But until then, I think a lot of you are just still kind of new to the show. You don't know that I'm just a fucking dick to people who don't like me. I can't help it. It's I derive enjoyment from it. Sorry, guys. The gender fluid Australian musician. These articles now seem like fucking Mad Libs. They don't seem like they're real. Like most of them feel like they're just there to fuck with us. An Australian gender fluid musician has set up a foundation to pay for girls to have their tits cut off. Now, this is one organization where I hope that it's just a grift, where the creator of it is just siphoning money off of it over and over and just actually not using the money for what they say the intended goal is. Because if you really are starting a fund, and it's not like you're a doctor, it's not like you're some kind of advocate or anything like that. You're just some musician who's like, you know what? I'm going to take a bunch of donations from people so girls can cut their tits off and become dudes. You are a person who is not affiliated with that medical procedure, who's raising money for a bunch of people you don't know to have a procedure done that is very permanent, that if you don't know they need it. It's, you know what? I'm starting to think it might be a mental illness. How fucking dare I? For certain members of the LGBTQIA plus community, the process of transitioning embodies not only a deeply personal struggle, but also a financial hurdle. Well, maybe you should be working and save up your money before you transition. So, because that can build character. And then by the time you've got character, you realize that you're either gay or going through a phase. In recognition of this, we endeavor to offer financial aid to those who lack the means to engage in the transformative processes that align them with their authentic selves. Our foundation operates on a grant-based system dedicated to providing support for critical aspects such as therapy, hormone treatments, and surgical interventions. Can we not pretend like the first two are just a gateway to the third one? Like, okay, Has there ever been like trans people who handpick their therapist, and when they go to that therapist, the therapist goes, nah, you're not really trans, it's something else. And the other person goes, oh, that's fine, that's okay. I understand. All right, well then I guess I'm not trans. Or do they just go to somebody who's going to rubber stamp it? Or when that person tells them they're not trans, they just go to somebody who will tell them that? Because I have a feeling it's the latter. It's called the I Am Me Foundation. Let's check it out. Let's talk about their stated goals.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, a massive congratulations from all.
It's right. I heard you all got to cut your dicks off. Congratulations on getting decocked. If any of you want to cut off your tits, you can give me a call. We'll be there in the early morn, and we'll cut off your tits. It's turning into Boston at the end. I'm sorry about that. My Australian needs work. Well, if you don't want any of your dicks, we've got a foundation. We've got a leave a dick, take a dick box.
All of us on your journey. Thank you. You're about to get one step closer because you are our very first grant recipient for the Yay! Congratulations.
Oh, making me emotional.
It really is just like a smash cut of sick people. Like there's not a set of unmedicated eyeballs in that bunch. And they're all just like, yay, you're going to cut your titties off. Good for you. Don't look back. Just go ahead and do it. This isn't fucked up at all. This is just totally good. I mean, how's your relationship with your parents? Oh, I hate them. Yeah, that probably has nothing to do with any of this. It's fine. At 38 years old, they're going to cut off their tits. Well, I guess you live half your life one way, half your way the next.
Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so happy.
Are you? We'll see how long that lasts. Statistically, you got about a 50-50 shot at staying happy. That's all. So let's cross your fingers and hope you're one of the good ones. Mick Luck says, crikey, I'm going under the knife and they're going to cut my tits off. Ugh. Why? Can't you just, I've always wondered, can't you just be gay? Like, don't you, like, shouldn't you just try the gay part first? And then maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm a fuck it. Look, maybe this is one of those things where I'm just getting old and this is the way of the world. And I mean, I don't believe that, but it didn't. I was going to say, like, this never existed before. Like, the surgeries, and I need this done, and I need that done, and, like, but I guess, like, back in the 40s and 50s, there weren't a lot of gay people running around either, because it wasn't socially acceptable to be that way, but, oh, my God, like, starting a foundation to have people cut their tits off, I really feel like the therapy part is way more important. But I guess, I mean, congratulations, I guess. Danny Crook says, shouldn't you try the gay part first? He said after telling the world he shared a bed with Nick. Hey, this isn't about me. I'm still a dude. I'm not cutting anything off, you piece of shit. It really just seems like you got a cheap shot in. That's all. Look, it's fucking Australia. But that's the other attitude. You're like, look, it's fucking Australia. Who gives a shit, right? But all that stuff migrates. It all migrates eventually. And now I'm paranoid. Great. Now I'm paranoid. There's people like, there's already, you hear stories from like family members and friends and stuff. And like, I'm getting old enough now where my friends have kids in school where like they're now dealing with this. Like one kid identifies as this. And you're like, they're 8. How can that be? And they're like, well, the teachers can't question it because the teacher will get canned. And you can't tell the parent, which is probably a single white mom with blue hair, that they're wrong because they saw 18 TikTok videos on the subject and now they're a PhD. So everyone just kind of goes along to get along because nobody wants to upset anybody and lose their paycheck. It's essentially where we're at. Ray J ponders whether the sex tape with Kim Kardashian altered the course of humanity. Altered the course of humanity? It fucking shattered it. Are you kidding? Like, the Ray J Kim Kardashian sex tape made the Kardashians a thing. Well, I mean, that and OJ cutting his ex-wife's head off. But Kim Kardashian fucking Ray J and then her mom whoring it out there for attention is what built Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like, to this day, still inspires little girls to be vapid cunts. So, yeah, I would say it altered the course of humanity. You know, usually people have a problem with a guy like Ray J talking like this. They think it's arrogant or presumptuous or whatever. Like, what do you mean you altered the course of humanity? That's a little full of yourself. No, he did. He put his dick into Kim Kardashian with a camera on. And now girls all want to be pieces of shit. I don't know if we would have gotten there without the Kardashians. And we certainly don't get the Kardashians if we don't have the sex tape. So you know what? Yes, I agree with him. He altered the course of history. But not in a good way. Not like D-Day altered the course of history. As the wisdom the Hollywood Reporter just shared in late May goes, anyone who wants their career or name to go viral should speak with Shannon Sharpe on his podcast, Club Shay Shay. Now, first of all, we got to change that name. Shannon Sharpe was one of the most badass tight ends who ever played football. And your podcast is called Club Shay. Why is everybody's podcast a club now? You got Bill Maher has Club Random. Shannon Sharpe has Club Shay Shay. Does everybody's podcast have to be a club? It's happening again, this time with singer and one-time sex tape star Ray J, who took time to ponder the ripple effects of his sex tape with Kim Kardashian and waxed philosophical about humanity. You know, that's really why I watch podcasts. The reason I watch podcasts is to see washed-up R&B singers talk about humanity. I can't wait to see. But then, okay, you can make fun of that, but then Ray J makes a remarkably cogent point that nobody ever saw coming. He took the time to ponder the ripple effects of his sex tape with Kim Kardashian. I mean, he's kind of right. Like I said, if she didn't become famous, her sisters don't become famous. And if her sisters don't become famous, there's no perfume lines, there's no TV show. Their stepdad probably doesn't cut his dick off if Kim Kardashian, if that sex tape doesn't come out. Are you kidding? I guarantee the stress and the pressure that show put on Bruce Jenner caused him to go nuts and cut his dick off. There probably would have been no Kim Kardashian-Kanye marriage. Kanye probably wouldn't have went off on the Jew. Well, Kanye still would have went off on the Jews. But for the most part, like, women, I'm not saying women would be like prim and proper if it wasn't for Kim Kardashian, because there were enough dumb whores out there, but I don't think it made us better, if that's what you're asking. Let's see what he said. Let's take a look at this clip from Shannon Sharpe's podcast.
How different is that family, or is that family life?
You know, I think more of the question is, how different would we all be? How different would this whole fucking thing be? How different would the industry be? How different would the wheel roll?
I mean, yeah, I get it. He does sound a little full of himself. But just because someone's full of themselves doesn't mean they're wrong. You know, sometimes unconfident people kind of feed off of confident people and seethe and are mad at them because they can't be that, or because the confident person is right and it upsets them greatly. I see some of that in our chat sometimes. Look, you're free to go. I'm not trying to set you off again for the 15th fucking time tonight. But like Ray J, he may sound like a douche, and you can go, oh, what a fucking self-centered cunt. What an asshole. What a self-aggrandizing piece of shit. Okay, maybe, but that doesn't make him wrong. You can't just seethe about his attitude and write off the thing he's saying. Fucking grow up. He's probably right. That sex tape changed the course of humanity. Now, it doesn't say much about where humanity was at the time, that something as simple as two people fucking can butterfly wing the entirety of humanity. We were probably headed on a downward slide anyway.
but this didn't help.
Everything would be different. We would all be different. All of us. Everybody in here would be different. We would have on different clothes.
What you mean?
Everything would be different, meaning like you would never ask me that question. Meaning if we sat here right now and we got to this point, what, like, I don't know, probably more people would be going to college. And
you know what? Again, when it comes out of his mouth, you go, okay, that's fucking stupid. But then you think about it, maybe if the Kardashians hadn't become famous and Keeping Up with the Kardashians hadn't become a show, maybe more girls would have gone to college. Because those women did influence a shitload of young girls to behave the way they behaved. But then you also have to think in the other direction, like what would have replaced the Kardashians if they never existed? It could have been something dumber and sluttier and more retarded. It doesn't always necessarily mean that the other thing would have been better.
You know what I'm saying? Getting an education to be successful. There might not be any OnlyFans and other things like that, other opportunities.
Bro. There would have always been OnlyFans. As long as you got sluts who don't want to work, there's going to be an OnlyFans.
It's like that. So, I mean, are we a part of the cure? Are we a part of the disease?
Ooh, I know. Disease for 300, please. I mean, again, he's right about the fact that his sex tape with Kim Kardashian changed the course of humanity. But again, it wasn't a good course that it went down.
I don't fucking know.
He went into Shipbreaker Bay is where he went into.
I know is I'm just trying to make it right.
Were you ever embarrassed when the tape came out?
Nah, my dick be straight. Oh, answer it, you dramatic cunt. Yes or no? It's not, are you embarrassed now? Were you embarrassed when the tape came out? Just be honest. People don't want to look like a piece of shit. I'm very honest. I'm very transparent about who I am. I'm garbage, but I'm trying to do better. And if I'm Ray J, I'm like, dude, I was fucking Kim Kardashian on tape. Nah, I wasn't ashamed when the tape. I mean, I felt kind of bad for her. It's got to be kind of embarrassing. But as far as I go, didn't hurt my reputation any.
Yeah.
Oh, he was embarrassed. Okay.
I have kids now, so when I have kids,
and
everything that we did now when I have kids is just totally different. The whole thing is wacky.
Oh, now I definitely feel shittier about what I did the last 6-7 months. Motherfucker. I mean, he just had consensual sex with one person that he was with. Fucking was doing wife. Oh my God, I'm a bigger piece of shit than Ray J. Maybe I should go to therapy twice a week instead of once. Maybe I should catch an extra meeting tomorrow. Oh, fuck, I'm shittier than Ray J.
Before I was just like, but with my kids, it's not okay. And so I can't, without me going too far into it, without me getting in trouble. Yeah, I mean, nah, it's not okay now. But I'm 43.
Yeah, you were like 23 when that tape came out. You're fine. Don't beat yourself up about it. You were a single dude. You had no kids. It's fine. It's not like you were doing blow in a bathroom with dog shit and piss in it and then fucking each other's wives. I mean, calm down. Only real degenerates do shit like that.
A kid that's 4 and a kid that's 6. My daughter's 6. My son's 4. And even though you're young, and even in that young kid world, they'll all probably think it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Until you have kids.
I mean, yeah, exactly, yeah. Everybody wanted to fuck Kim Kardashian. He got to do it. I think he made a song about it, too, called I Got Her First or something like that. So, like, he couldn't have felt too bad about it. God's Node with $10 says, God forgives, Jesus forgives, I forgive you. Wow, holy shit. Thank you, God's Node. I appreciate that. By the way, $20 into tomorrow's goal. We appreciate you guys' generosity. You've knocked it out again tonight, and you've made it, as we say in the biz, another win for the toe.
I wish I could do more things to make people happy and not do things to purposely upset people, but it's just so much fucking fun. Landers says, not me. I want to pound Nancy Pelosi. Elza Belza says, if it wasn't the Kardashians, it would have been someone else. The Rekieta Imholtz would have corrupted the world instead. Dude. Two hideous men would have corrupted the world. I hope not. I really hope not. He's right, though. Who would it have been? We probably would have just gotten a longer run. Because, like, Kim Kardashian and those girls, they took over for Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton. So we probably would have just got more of them. Which I feel like they're dumb and they're retarded. But they're also dumb and retarded with very little redeeming qualities. I feel like the Kardashians, especially the Jenner ones, like at least they started perfumes and makeups and like businesses and stuff. I'm trying to find the bright side in the whole thing. And as you can tell, I'm struggling. Tomorrow we've got a great show for you. Keanu C. Thompson is going to be here. It's Gossip Girl Thursday, and she's got all the Rekieta Instagram messages that she wants to talk about. She's very heated about that still. I watched her show yesterday. She did a great job with Camelot. Go ahead and watch that. Subscribe to this channel. Like what we're doing. Support what we're doing. Become a member. I really do appreciate you guys keeping this little ship afloat from back in the radio days. You really are the best audience out there. And to the people who think I'm a piece of shit and you hate my guts, God bless you too, because you help make this thing special as well. I don't think anybody treats their haters as well as we do. I don't think anybody likes them as much. I don't think anybody makes them feel as welcome and open to exercise their hatred, because I know that makes them happy. I know what they need to live a full life, and I'm not going to deny it to them. It's like giving taking away a thirsty man's water. Let them live. Let them breathe. And eventually, they'll become fans too. They always do. All right, guys, talk to you later. We've got 6 a.m. start tomorrow. It's the last YouTube show of the week. We got Rumble Friday coming up in 2 days. Excited for tomorrow's show. We hope you show up. Back again at 6 a.m. Take it easy for the rest of your night.